It's been too long.
It has.
A whole week.
It's been a while.
Yes.
How's your week been?
Very long.
Yes, it has been.
Mondays are always the longest for some reason.
Yeah, dude, I feel like it went by pretty quickly.
Really?
Myself, but that's just me.
Yeah. Monday was like 3 times as long as every other day. But we made it.
Yeah, we're here.
What are we talking about?
We're, man, I thought,
I mean, I know what we're talking about, but just just so they know, what are we talking about?
No, they don't get to know. They never get to know.
You're not even going to put it in the
I'm not even
description or anything?
No, it's just going to be Matt's
gonna be
hair
question
is awesome.
mark?
That's going to be the name of the video is Matt's hair is awesome.
Oh, cool.
No, I wanted to talk about the PlayStation event.
Oh, yes.
You know?
This small event
talk about this
that no one's talking about.
Little event, yeah. It's just a little thing. It's a little bit of information.
It didn't spawn the next 24 hours of
Oh, no, of
chaos.
course not. Just the worst 24 hours in video game PR history. Well, one of next to like the Halo games not working when Halo 3 dropped.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty big one.
That was bad. I remember that.
I mean, this is just, I check it up to typical PlayStation. If you don't know, they didn't announce the correct time of when they were going to announce the pre-release and the pre-order date.
They swore that they were going to have a good, correct time, and they didn't.
They also said there would be enough PS5s for everybody.
I know.
But a certain coof kind of stopped that production, and I don't think they ever recovered.
I don't think they
the losses from
were expecting
not made units.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting the demand, which is weird because.
What do you mean they weren't? That's silly of Sony to not expect the type of demand.
There was a guy on Twitter. There was a guy on Twitter who said that he had received at his GameStop 16 physical disc-based PS5s and then like 2 digital. That seems like
artificial.
Given the amount of hype around this console, it seems like a little bit. And it could be because of COVID. I guess we're just jumping into it now, right?
I guess so.
This is all stuff we're talking about that happened after the conference, but everyone's going crazy right now. I've never seen it like this.
Well, I think the PS5 event was a big deal. If you want me to give just a brief opinion on what I saw, everything I saw for this PS5 event like blew everything Microsoft has shown out of the water.
Oh yeah,
completely.
Definitely,
it makes Microsoft look like a dead fish.
There was no memes. There was no memes coming out of that conference like Microsoft's.
No,
no Craig meme.
Yeah, I just thought it was very. Microsoft has just been so lackluster because you hear Phil talking constantly about the greatest games lineup in history and
Where's
the greatest systems.
I'm still waiting for it.
Yeah, I'm waiting like 3 years, Phil. You've been talking about.
Oh, you meant your 9th Forza game and your 72nd
You
Halo
mean like
game?
You're talking about games that I played like 12, 15 years ago on the 360, and you're making them back
which were good games, but we're not 15 years old anymore.
But I'm not playing Viva Pinata.
Yeah,
I buy.
Times have changed,
adult, and I buy these consoles.
That was when there was no MCU. Mm-hmm. We were all virgins, and a lot of stuff has happened since then.
Some people might still be virgins.
Well, shout out to the virgins.
Yeah, high fives.
You guys are doing God's work, literally. Yeah. You guys are good.
They may call you incels, but you're our heroes.
Oh, you guys got crowns waiting for you. What are we talking about? Okay, so from the top, what do you think? What was the first thing that they showed? I mean, we both watched it.
Okay, I'm just going to throw out the first thing. The biggest thing is, dude, that Demon Souls warp.
Oh, my God.
Yes, the trailer was amazing.
I cannot be more hyped
I'm talking about the warp from one point to another.
You're talking about the loading.
Instant load.
You're not talking about
that. That was a not load.
Yeah,
that's exactly for the first time in history that I think I've. Well, it's probably not the first time ever, but the fact that load time, quote unquote, was instant, that showed right there what the PlayStation was capable of. Microsoft brings these stupid like trailers for games. They're like, hey, Psychonauts 2 is going to come out and it looks kind of cool. Here's some like really alpha version of the game. Here's
Jack
Demon
Black.
Souls running around slicing people up, showing the instant warp from one level to another. That was PlayStation flexing on Microsoft. I think that was Sony totally showing what's up with the hardware, and that is what people have been wanting to see with this hardware that they keep saying is so amazing. That was that SSD.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect going into the conference other than me being like extremely hyped for Demon Souls.
Yeah.
But even then, I wasn't sure what it was going to look like because we seen the trailer for it, but it didn't show gameplay. I mean, it did in the traditional sense, but I wanted to see it running, and I didn't know what to expect. But what I saw definitely was like, whoa! Like
it was so minimum gameplay wise, but it was like it. I remember thinking Bloodborne looked good. I remember thinking when Bloodborne was shown, it looked really good.
Yeah.
This time seeing this blew any game that Japan Studios.
It looks better than any game
made.
Sony has put out.
There's probably some people that would disagree with me about the style of Japan Studios games. I mean, I've played Dark Souls 2, 3. I've played Bloodborne, and I haven't beaten any of them.
Yeah, you got to fix that.
Yes, but this game, from the time that I have spent in those games, I can tell I like the style of how the animation looks.
So
it looks. I
I'm
want to say
with you on
almost
that one.
I want to say almost lifelike, but like, remember when people used to say that, oh, just wait until we hit Pixar levels of CGI.
Oh yeah,
and we've been way past that for a really long time.
I think we're pretty much past it now.
I think we're hitting like levels of video gaming almost like when they showed Tarkin in Rogue One. You remember when they CGI'd him?
Oh yeah.
Like the first time I saw it, I was like,
even Leia.
I was like, isn't he dead?
Did they revive
I was like, how
him?
the heck did they do that? That was crazy. And I think we're hitting levels of video games where that's what we're going to be looking for. I don't care about. I don't know. I could care less about. There are some games I really want to look nice. Ghost of Tsushima, dude, that was one of the most beautiful games I played on the PlayStation.
I got a platinum for it.
That was one
really
of the best
good.
games I've ever played.
I haven't platinumed a game in a while, but that game really wanted me to finish it. 100% it.
But so seeing what's next for the next generation on PlayStation, it even blows that. Like, that is my expectation, is Ghost of Tsushima, and it surpasses that in terms of how good the game looks. And that's just one game. I wasn't super impressed with Spider-Man. I'm going to be completely honest.
So, okay, well, before I comment on Spider-Man, I just want to say, so Blue Point, I feel like at this point needs to be owned by Sony because they do such a good job at revitalizing for a new generation what is like considered one of, if not mostly, the biggest underrated game, which is Demon Souls. It was owned by Sony. They dropped the ball. They let it slip. They could have had Dark Souls exclusively, but no one really cared about Demon Souls until Dark Souls. But while no one cared about the Souls series as much as they did until Dark Souls, but they revitalized Shadow of the Colossus. It was really good. They made that work. I was really not a fan of the original game's controls.
Was it like tank controls?
It's like super tanky. You have to like hold.
I played the remake on PS4, and I actually really enjoyed it because I did play the original too on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah. And they also blew me away because they did a little game called the Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 collection.
The HD collection.
And I played that on my 360.
That was was that the one that added the MGS4 controls to MGS3, or did they only do that on the 3DS? I know they did on the 3DS one.
That was specifically for you, having played 3DS,
okay.
the 3DS version of Snake Eater.
That was like, I know a lot of people probably disagree, but that's like probably the best version of that game.
Oh no, definitely control-wise.
Control-wise, and just the fact that you can take Metal Gear handheld on a not PlayStation system, I think made it worthwhile. That was really cool.
But Blue Point does good stuff, and this actually blew me away because I thought, oh my god, I wasn't sure what to expect gameplay-wise, but the different camera angles was very nice to see. That surprised me because it's not the same camera as the other Souls games. It's more close.
Yeah, I did notice that. It was very
and it could have been just for presentation purposes,
linear,
because there was no HUD, and there's usually a HUD in Souls games.
I feel like that. I hope that's actually how it looks.
The lighting was really, really good.
If you want me to be honest, I feel like there should be a mode in that game with no HUD because how beautiful it does look.
Yeah, I mean,
Like that's like the next level of
I don't
immersion,
know, because
right? Like
you
if it's
want to
not
see your
VR,
stamina, you want to see your health, but I feel like
but if it's not VR,
I didn't miss it in the demo.
yeah,
I thought it looked great, and the lighting was really good. I mean, this is not a game that is theirs. This is a game that has already been, it's already been made, and they're simply just bringing it forward to a new generation
and making it again.
And the fact that it's the best looking game that I've seen on next gen is like a testament.
They
to
keep showing
studio.
like Godfall. Like every Sony
they need
event
to
keeps
stop
showing Godfall,
and
and I'm like
more.
getting tired of Godfall because I think Godfall looks super like generic. Honestly,
Yeah,
I don't think
and
Godfall looks fun at all.
I don't like the marketing for it. I don't like
they're pushing it way too much.
I'm a hip hop fan. I like hip hop and rap, but I'm not a fan of it being in the marketing. For
what do you mean? You didn't like the hip hop they showed for Spider-Man, dude?
Oh,
yeah, dude. What the heck? You know, Tobey Maguire would have gotten orchestrated. You know, soundtracks, and you got hip hop playing for Miles Morales.
I liked the demo for that game. I can talk about Demon Souls for a whole podcast, but switching to Spider-Man, I like the demo that they showed. The graphics look really good. I mean, all the games that they showed.
But does it look any different than Spider-Man 4, other than environmentally, because it's winter?
PS4 version?
I think
Spider-Man 4 what? What's that?
Well, not Spider-Man 4. I'm talking about the PS4 version.
Oh yeah.
I
haven't really played that one.
Well, see, that's your problem.
Yeah, I gotta go back and play it. But this game looked good.
I don't think it looks any different than the other Spider-Man. It's running. It's most
likely
running in the same engine.
It looks a little Infamous-y, like his
Yeah,
powers.
But remember when they showed the Spider-Man demo at E3, and they showed it again like 2 years later, and they took stuff out of the actual gameplay version. I mean, like, how are we gonna trust that that's the actual version they're gonna push? That's what makes me afraid for Demon Souls too. Like. It's something that's a constant in the video game industry that pisses me off is that you don't get the product they show you. They menu you.
Yeah, but I think Blue Point usually nails it.
I think they will.
I think when they showed Shadow of the Colossus, what we got at retail was what we saw. So I'm feeling actually really confident.
Well, I'm just saying I think Spider-Man's going to look great for people who have not played Spider-Man on PS4. But I think, to me, I didn't see anything like...
I think the reason why I say it looks good is because I wasn't expecting it to look as good as it did. Because my whole thing is it seemed like we knew it was going to be like a cheaper version. It was presumably going to be like $40, like a kind of like an Uncharted Lost Legacy type style of game, where it's not a full-fledged game. So I didn't expect it to be like the greatest looking game ever, but I liked what I saw. I'll play it.
Yeah.
And it seems like it was supposed to be on the PS4. It's actually going to be on the PS4 as well.
Well, then what's the point of me buying it on PS? Well, if I was going to buy a PS5, I wouldn't buy it for Spider-Man because I think, well, first, I think that the Spider-Man game isn't something that it's like a bone that it's being thrown. It's something that could have been like a DLC. I think probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure it was going to be.
Maybe it's be a full-length game. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm sure it was going to be, but then it just coincided with...
But then I was wondering... Go on.
No, I was going to say, I'm sure it was going to be DLC, and then it just coincided with the release of the PS5, so might as well just box it.
Well, then I was also wondering, at the time of watching the release, I was thinking, are they going to upgrade on Spider-Man for PS4? And then I found out only if you buy the $80 version of... the Miles Morales game.
I don't like when they do things like that.
Why would you not? Wouldn't you want people to buy this game?
They're not
as
gonna,
a company. Like,
that's just for like now, right? They're not going to keep that.
There's no way. How do you keep that? How do you make that as a? That would piss me off so much. I have a computer. I don't need a PlayStation 5. I mean, I can go the rest of my life without playing Demon Souls as much as it looks nice.
Oh, that's crazy. I need that game.
But I don't know if you're gonna make all the games on like even as far as whatever they're doing with what was it I guess that's kind of jumping up ahead, but the PlayStation Plus collection,
Oh yeah,
is
the
that
fake Game Pass?
What is it? Is it like
basically
streaming all the PS4 games?
No, because in the presentation it said download them.
So
they're just basically creating a platform for you as a PS Plus subscriber to download the past generation's greatest hits. So they showed like Days Gone. They showed Last of Us 1. Not Last. They didn't show Last of Us 2, which was smart. I actually give them.
Smart. They learned their mistakes. I want to give them
credit for having the balls.
Sorry,
to be
Neil.
Like, no, I want to give them the credit right now for having the balls to be like, let's just pretend 2 didn't happen because we understand that it wasn't the best received game from Naughty Dog. They showed Spider-Man, of course. They showed Uncharted 4. Basically, all the heavy hitters. Bloodborne. I'm very curious to know if it's going to perform better or if it's just a lazy attempt.
The lazy version of
like,
Games
here, just
Gold.
play it. Yeah.
Or Game Pass.
I
don't know.
Because with Xbox, to their credit, if I were to buy an Xbox Series X, I know for a fact that my games that I'm bringing over are going to run even better.
Yeah.
And they're going to perform better. They were talking about, Major Nelson was talking about, they're going to put like HDR in Fusion Frenzy. I'm like, that game is like 18 years old or whatever. That game's an original Xbox game, and you're gonna update it with HDR and 4K texture. All right. So like, I want to hope that it's not gonna be that lazy. I want to hope that this PS Plus collection is gonna have improvements to the previous generation's games, but I doubt it.
I think
because Sony is arrogant.
Yeah, I bring it up because the fact that you have to pay extra to bring Spider-Man over to play Spider-Man with Spider-Man Miles Morales is kind of cheap to me.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
It seemed like they're just adding that as a PS Plus feature.
Well, I don't like that because guess who's going to start doing that? EA is going to start doing that. I mean, like everybody's going to start. Oh, you want your games? You got to buy a more expensive version to port it over, and the games are already more expensive.
Yeah,
you know. So if I have to buy a special edition game, if games are running me $69.99 or $79.99 now. That's what the special editions of games cost. So now I'm going to have to pay, what, $180 for an Ultimate Edition or $200, $300 for an Ultimate Edition now?
I'm trying to find the article that talks about like the weird way they're launching Miles Morales alongside the Spider-Man 2018.
That's weird. It doesn't seem right to me. If the game looks, I guess, for the next gen, it looks pretty good, especially for a console game. It looks pretty good. If you played Spider-Man, it's like Spider-Man.
So it's $80, you said?
Isn't it? Like $79, I think, for the special edition or something, and you get the Spider-Man from 2018.
Yeah, that's weird.
We'll show it right
Call
here.
of Duty did that with Infinite Warfare. You got the $80 version, and they gave you Modern Warfare Remastered.
Yeah, but they gave you a whole game.
A whole game.
Yeah. A game that you didn't own.
But I wasn't a fan of that either, to be honest.
But they gave you a whole game that was remastered.
Yeah, and it was a whole game.
And then, on top of that, the equivalent would be is that you bought Spider-Man, so you already own it.
Yeah.
So you should immediately be given a license to own Spider-Man on the PS5.
Yeah.
Or at least courtesy upgrade edition. And I don't know. It seems really simple. They did it with Control. They were saying with Control they weren't going to allow people to have the upgraded version only if they bought the upgraded version.
Yeah, more shady crap.
And then what ended up happening is everybody across the board had the upgraded version added to their library.
It was like an accident, right?
Yeah. So thus proving that they didn't need everybody to own the upgraded edition. So stuff like that makes sense when you had to buy a DLC CD or an expansion pack back in the day when you bought like StarCraft,
like Halo 2's expansion.
You buy a map pack, yeah. Stuff like that
in 2003.
Yeah. But when you can't get away with stuff like that in the digital world.
No.
Because it's just as easy for you to just say, oh yeah, you own the license to that too because you bought it here.
First of all, it doesn't make sense, especially nowadays.
Maybe it's just me as a consumer and I'm not thinking of the business mindset though.
Well, no, there was outcry over it because when they got exposed for basically lying because everyone found out, like you said, that it was the case that they all got the free upgrade or whatever by accident. They had to walk it back. It's like, we know that you're lying.
Yeah.
We know it's for money. I haven't played Control, so I don't even know much about the whole like if it's worth getting the upgrade.
I haven't played.
I heard it's a good game.
I don't know. I wasn't really interested.
I heard it takes up some Metal Gear tropes.
Yeah,
but I'll be the judge of that.
I wasn't.
No, I won't because I won't play it.
I'm not gonna play it. No offense. I heard it's a good game. I keep getting told to play Horizon Zero Dawn, and I'm not.
That game, it had one chance with me, and it slipped because
Zelda.
Because Breath of the Wild came out. Literally came out like 2 days later.
I don't have the.
I went back.
I don't have the time to play as many open worlds. I have to pick and choose what kind of open world games I want to play.
But this speaks to Ghost of Tsushima because me and you were kind of in the same boat, which was,
dude.
Another open world game. Nah, another open world game. Nah. Even Red Dead 2, which I was like so hyped for, and I loved the first Red Dead. I had no
Dude, I liked Red Dead 2 though. I liked it a lot.
So I thought I was done with open world after Red Dead 2 because I was like, if I don't like Red Dead 2, and I want to go back to that game. I was thinking maybe I'm just done with open world. But then Tsushima comes out, and I'm like...
And then they do it right.
Oh, I platinumed it.
Yeah. I almost platinumed it.
I think you're like one away. I think you can do it.
No, dude. I have to... It says the last trophy I need to platinum the game is do every tail in Tsushima.
Oh, you just haven't discovered them all then.
Yeah, I did them all. Dude, I did...
That you've discovered.
All of...
But you haven't discovered
I did the whole... You want to see my map?
You want to see?
I'll show you my whole map. I'll show you the whole map right
after
here.
this, I'll show you a picture and we'll compare sizes.
Dude, no. Why not right here, right now?
They can't
just whip it out.
They can't see that. That's why we're audio only.
Yeah,
because we'll get in trouble. It's a good thing that we're audio only.
The thing well, yeah. I mean, why would I want that to be on visual?
This isn't BitChute.
Anyways, what? What do you mean? That's where we got most of our views. Thank you, BitChute.
Can we plug another platform on YouTube? Are they gonna come after us?
What are they gonna do? Is half?
They're gonna.
What? We're 20 minutes in, and they're gonna listen.
Us?
Oh, they're gonna hear that 20 minutes in. Oh, he said right here.
They got
this website.
They got Steven
If
Crowder.
you haven't yet, please like and subscribe this video and subscribe to this channel. Please like this video, leave a comment, and share this with people. It's how I grow.
Yeah.
Just decide.
Me too. I grow too.
Yeah. You can find Matt Salcido as Matt Salcido on YouTube.
Look, I grow vicariously through you.
He's got a pretty big Tyler the Creator video there.
It's really big.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. He's got more views than I do in one video.
Yeah, incidentally. Because the title of my video ended up being the title of a song that he came out with, and everyone thought my video had to do with that, and it had nothing to do with it. It was just a clip of him singing a different song at a festival. So it's not your fault. But I just had a loophole in the system. And it was only for like a day. And then people caught on. They were like, oh, this isn't it. Nobody go to this video.
I think the only thing Spider-Man has going for it, sorry to just get right back into it.
Oh, that's fine. I'm rambling.
It's Spider-Man. It's time filler, so at least they have more than
Spider-Man. Okay, so to me, I have no connection to Miles Morales.
But he
to
would
me, Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
But you have to play that. You need to play 2018, dude.
Oh yeah, I should.
So it's Spider. No. I'm talking about
open world. I didn't even play Spider-Man.
But that game was actually good.
I gotta play it again.
Yeah, you're missing all the open world. You played shitty open world.
I gotta give it a chance, dude.
You're playing Dragon Quest, playing fucking Neo 2 with David.
Neo 2 is not open world. Neo 2 is cool. Neo 2 is more like a zony. I think you're just venting at my recent games.
No, I don't really care.
Hey, Mario 3D All-Stars is
I've been playing it today.
Amazing.
Dude, I was playing Mario Sunshine.
I was like, all I wanted...
Dude, it feels so good.
Have
you played with the Pro Controller?
No, I just used the...
the Pro Controller.
The default,
when
you snap it on.
It feels so good. The joysticks just feel so nice and just...
I like the... you can't see it if you're listening. Well, obviously. But I like your little hand movements that you do.
Yeah, with my thumbs, twirling them around.
Yeah, twiddling the thumbs.
I think Spider-Man's combat it's like Batman, but it's a beat 'em up. It's fun.
If it's like Batman, I'll play it.
So that's how I see it. I mean, and then there's many ways you can play the game. So because Spider-Man has way more customizable abilities.
Skill trees? Like, can you go a certain way?
Yeah, there's certain you can change how your combat works. You can be totally tanky. You can be gadgety. You can use a lot of web.
I would do all web.
Yeah, you can customize how.
Just give me all
Spider-Man
the web.
fights. Even like the Spider-Man, the outfits you get though they matter because they have certain abilities, and you would pick an outfit that caters to the abilities or the fighting style that you're trying to do. The game is pretty customizable when it comes to the combat system. It's pretty fun. You should play it.
Yep.
It's fun. It's like Spider-Man 2.
I'll play it on the PS5.
You're gonna pay $80 extra for no.
Well,
no,
so
Miles Morales isn't worth $80
is there not a free upgrade option?
No, that's what I was telling you. You only get the upgrade if you buy the special edition of Miles Morales. That is Christmas. Says holiday 2020.
Christmas.
So I assume PS5 release.
Yeah.
Along with Demon Souls.
Okay,
so who the hell's going to care about
so
Spider-Man
speaking of
Demon
PS5 release, this game that I cannot get out of my head, which is funny because I've played it already, is Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition.
I've not played it.
I have not stopped watching the trailer since it was shown. I cannot wait. Devil May Cry, I loved the number 5. I loved it to death. And they're adding Virgil, which is amazing.
I don't know anything about that series.
So
I know that it was supposed to be Resident Evil 4.
If you just play 3, you'll understand the series and why everybody loves it. You don't even have to play them all.
And then skip 4
because
and just go
2 is
to 5?
trash. 2 does not exist. I actually played 2. I wanted to see for myself how bad it was. Think of the worst game you've ever played and then multiply that by 3. That's how bad.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Okay, like Van Helsing, like the Van Helsing game that I used to play on the Xbox, the movie, straight to DVD movie game.
Oh, yeah.
It's like worse than that somehow. The Burger King games you used to get at Burger King.
Hey, no, I heard the Sneak King was like the best game.
It's worse than those games.
I heard Sneak King was the only good game.
I didn't get that one. I got like the race car one.
That was the one that everybody loved, was the Sneak King.
Okay. So, if you just play Devil May Cry 3, you'll love it. And you'll be like, oh, I get it. Okay, yeah, no wonder people love this game. And then 5 is really good. 2 sucks. 1 is basically...
introduction.
Well, 1 is basically the worse version of 3. And then 4 is cool. But 4 you don't play as Dante.
Okay. I've never played any of the Devil May Cry games.
But I'm so excited. And it's ray tracing now. I don't know what that means, but I mean...
It means light. So ray tracing is it uses the highlights and like shining light and shadows, and it makes it more realistic.
So lighting. It's weird to say that for Devil May Cry because there's always so much going on. The last thing you're gonna look at is like the lighting.
You're gonna see it makes things look more realistic in a setting. So if you ever did you ever watch the tech demo for when they added it to Quake? 2?
No, I don't.
Okay,
no.
Well they took a game that's like 20 years old and they put ray tracing into it and changed the entire way the game looks. It's like they added it to Minecraft and it makes Minecraft look realistic.
I don't want to be that guy, but so they basically Wind Waker HD'd it.
No, that was like highlight cell shading. No,
because
ray tracing actually like enhances the lighting particle
Wind Waker
graphics.
HD looked like a whole new game.
It's how the graphics card renders the lighting graphics of the area, and it renders it in a more realistic way and adds shadow to objects.
Okay. Well, even if I didn't know about any of that or cared, I'm really excited.
Well, it's because you never... Well, you...
And I do care.
It's been a while since you built a... I know a little more... I don't know a lot about, like, as much as, like, tech channels that specialize in building PCs.
You know
I understood the generalization of what RTX was. Yeah. Especially when I got to the point where I was buying my graphics card when I built my PC. And
you know enough to get by.
You know, I understood that it enhanced the lighting of a video game and made it more realistic. That's what RTX is, praised for. The funny thing is that Xbox and PlayStation built their entire systems around this thing called RTX. That's what I assume that these next generational leaps were for. Obviously for better graphics and faster loading times. But, they were like, oh, it's going to have RTX because that's what NVIDIA was pushing. RTX. And then they're like, hey, here's the 30 series graphics cards at the same time you announced the
that was bad
new systems, and it just completely blew out the systems and made them look stupid because the graphic cards, the specs that they were supposed to be pushing, it's already outdated the new systems. It outdated my computer. It outdated everything.
I think people were upset more that like people had just upgraded.
So what would I rather get, Matt? Would I rather buy a PlayStation 5?
Well, you're asking,
or would I rather sell my graphics card and then take that money for that PlayStation 5 and buy a 30 series graphics card?
I think you're asking a rhetorical question. I think you already know the answer.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to... my computer's suited for about 7 years. I think that it's just funny how the console industry was playing this chicken game with the price for months.
For no reason.
For no reason. Especially in when we have nothing to look forward to since everything's closed.
We can't even afford it.
We're in a tyrannical
Just show us
country.
The price.
We're in a pandemic. They have nothing to look forward to, and the one thing we've been wanting to know since E3 happened, so quote unquote summer of games, was knowing the price of the consoles.
Yeah, there was no E3 this year.
And they just did a tease.
Yeah, I'm glad they finally showed the price. I'm glad they finally, we know when they're coming out. It lasted way too long in secrecy.
I think it's funny that PlayStation only has 2 versions of their console, and Xbox is like, we got 3. We got enough for everybody. And then the Xbox Cloud, and it's like, I think Microsoft's trying a little too hard.
They're playing different games. That's what they're doing. Sony is just like, here's the games. We don't give a crap about anything else.
Isn't that what makes them their money? Is like their tech and their their consoles.
Well, usually this the philosophy before it's changing now, but it's like the hardware itself doesn't make them money. It's the software.
Yeah, but the software.
Sony has always traditionally just cared about the software. Microsoft took a different route. Their services are really a lot more defined.
Yeah, I would say that Xbox Live is better than
like no question.
PSN,
Xbox
obviously.
Live just blows
And
away
then,
PSN. Yeah.
Game Pass is
very, very pro-consumer.
If you want to be a video gamer and you want to play cheaply, it's you buy an Xbox or Series S and you pay for the Ultimate Game Pass, and you get all the game, you get everything in Game Pass, and you get Xbox Live.
So like, I respect Xbox because they are always a few years ahead of everybody else. Like I feel like eventually we're gonna get Game Pass on everything else. It's not gonna be called Game Pass. It's gonna be whatever they call it. So like, I feel like we're eventually gonna get a Sony version of Game Pass, because how can you not? It's so pro-consumer. They got a lot of flack at the beginning of their debut for Xbox One because they were like, yeah, we're gonna be changing the way trade-ins work.
Yeah,
we're gonna lock it to basically, what is it called? Can't think of the term right now, but it's like we're gonna lock it to the system. You download it once and then it's there, and then remember everybody freaked out. Now everyone's doing that now.
Yeah,
no one's really physical buyer anymore. I mean, we just saw proof of that with the PS5 pre-orders. The digitals were flying off the shelf. I mean,
I would have bought a digital. I don't want a digital, and if I could have gotten either, I would have gotten a digital, even if it was the only thing available, and I would have been cool with that. I want a physical because I like to own my games.
Yeah,
that's with my Switch.
I do, but digitally.
I buy all my games. Well, you go half with everybody on everything.
I go half with you.
Well, it's not a problem. I'm just saying it benefits you because you go half with people. So
I like to pay half.
Obviously, well, now with this new generation of games, hopefully they continue doing that.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're going to, where you can make people's consoles their home consoles. I don't know if this is new information for other people. It's the only reason why I'm explaining it is that you can make somebody else's console your home console, and you can
anything you buy,
that person will get, or vice versa, whoever makes the home console.
And it saves me a lot of money.
Go half on a lot of games, especially with the game prices raising up. Even though people are saying it's adjusted for inflation, I don't want to pay $70 for a video game. I don't want to pay $60 for a video game half the time, because half the time I don't feel like I get the value out of the money.
So that's a new thing. Yeah, $70. I think Sony, before 2K was getting a lot of flack for it because it was just like NBA that was going to be $70.
Yeah.
And then I think Call of Duty's doing it, and then Sony came out and was like, yeah, we're all going to be, Demon Souls is $70.
If every game looked like Demon Souls, maybe I would be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
If every game looked like that, but Call of Duty is not going to look like that.
No.
Call of Duty is going to look like Call of Duty.
Just before coming here, I played the alpha on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this?
Is it garbage?
It's essentially the Ghost situation.
I didn't play Ghost
at the beginning of the generation of this previous generation, when it was like really bad, and it was like super rushed. That game has a lot of problems. It's not as good looking as Modern Warfare. It doesn't sound nearly as good as Modern Warfare. The maps are not very inspiring. And I've only played a couple hours of it, but I'm already not a fan of it. It seems more of like a downgrade.
I think they failed at Black Ops 4. I know a lot of people would disagree with me.
Well, it's hard to give them...
It wasn't even like a game that was... It wasn't a COD game. It was a Warzone game. Or I guess that's what it would be called. Or, it was a Battle Royale game.
I would have been better... I would have had more respect for them if they did the Assassin's Creed thing, which was like, look, we're just going to take a year off, because I know we traditionally release a game every year. We're just going to take a year off, and we're going to focus on the new tech, which would be like the new generation, and we're just going to give you something good next year.
Yeah, like how about you give us a Call of Duty like Call of Duty 1 and 2? This would have been the perfect
time to do it, because everyone doesn't care, because everyone's still going to be playing Warzone.
Yeah, because Warzone's just getting constant updates now, isn't it? It's getting this new Call of Duty content added to it.
It's doing really good.
I've been asking you when you want to play Warzone.
Yeah, we got to get back on it.
I actually was really, to be honest, I hate Activision, and I really, really hate Call of Duty.
But Warzone.
But playing Warzone,
it's really good.
It feels like, and again, people would disagree with me, but I have not enjoyed playing a Call of Duty like multiplayer game like that since Modern Warfare 2. It's definitely
the same kind of like vibe that I'm getting from the old school days, where everyone's like, Call of Duty, oh my god, let's get on Call of Duty. I haven't felt that like excitement from like a community in a while, coming from COD. But it's definitely like they're lightning in a bottle. Like everyone's on Warzone.
Well, since we're already there, I mean, since we're technically we just moved on to the next one. We only skipped one subject.
Oh no,
we'll go back to it. Don't worry about it. We'll just come back. I'm
not even looking at.
I don't like. Here's the thing about Call of Duty. I'm never excited when you announce a Call of Duty game. It's expected. It's like, it's coming. I never get surprised. I'm never like wondering, what's the next game? What's the next COD game coming out? I want to see what they're going to do. You know why? Because the exact reason why you just said.
There's the cycle.
You even played it, and you're like, there's nothing going for it. It's not inspiring. There's nothing different. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously going to have a lot more in the... Maybe, I don't know. I guess how video maybe I wouldn't even give them that big of a bone.
It sounds worse.
They're probably not going to put everything that they want in that game until like a year after the games come out, and then it won't even be worth it because Call of Duty, whatever will be coming, Modern Warfare 2 again. Whatever the next game that's going to come out is.
The campaign might be good. It looks interesting. I really like the first.
$60 though for that.
Well, I really like the first.
$70 for that. $70 for Call of Duty. Knowing you're going to buy Call of Duty like people buy Madden every year.
Not if we go half. It'll be 35.
I don't.
And then by then
if I want to buy it, guess where I'm going to get it?
Oh, on the Steam machine?
I don't know. No. I do play Warzone on the PC, and I can tell you that's the coolest thing about Warzone was the cross-play.
The thing, well, that too, but what's really surprised me about Warzone was it was free. I'm like, this is Activision.
Yeah.
You don't make stuff free. As it is, Destiny 2 was a big one.
It feels good, too. Like, you can build yourself up in the free version really well, really fast. It is really fast.
And the crossplay is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I'm never running out of people to play with on that game.
There's people on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox constantly all the time.
And it's seamless. It works.
Yep. It is. It shows what we should be able to be capable of in this next generational leap. I hope this is something that is definitely expounded upon in this next generational leap. Because if it's not, it's just going to be a missed opportunity. I'm going to take a break really quick.
Agreed.
Let's see what's going on.
Oh, go ahead. Do I just stop it? Or? No, sorry. I like your headphones.
Thank you.
Where'd you get them?
Thank you. I bought them on Amazon. They're probably some... They actually are. Are. They're just some Chinese headphones.
Oh, no.
But you know why I got them?
Why?
I actually wanted a pair of headphones. These are studio headphones, and they're also Bluetooth headphones. I am not endorsing these in any way.
I just have.
But I can put them in the link to the video.
I just have SteelSeries.
Yeah? I wanted a pair of SteelSeries. I wanted I think it's the Arctic 5s or 7.
I have those.
Yeah, I wanted them for my PC as my actual. I wanted them to be my new headset, and I was going to give Jordan my Corsair
I almost got the 7s, but I hate wireless.
No, that's why
I hate charging.
You will want wireless when you either A, have children, or B, have animals. I remember I used to be strictly a wired guy. I was like, there's no point in getting a wireless headset. I had my cat destroy like 7 different pairs of Xbox chat headsets.
See, but that's because you're a cat guy.
I'm not.
My dog would never do that.
I'm not a cat guy. And I don't trust dogs enough because I did have a dog that used to chew up my headsets too. So I said, nope, F it. Yeah. I went to GameStop the same day that my chat headset got torn apart. And I went in and dropped $250 on a wireless headset. And it was one of the best headsets I ever had on my Xbox. Mm-hmm. And then I bought the next iteration after those broke. And they were the worst. It's these pieces of crap right here. These stupid turtle bitches.
Oh, wow.
They're garbage.
Threw it on the table.
I hate them. They're so uncomfortable.
Turtle beaches were only cool because we didn't know any better.
No, they're actually pretty good. The pair I got, the one before these, the 420s, the old, not the 700, but they were the 420s.
Well, like when we were in high school, everybody had turtle beaches.
The 420 wireless ones they had big cups and they were cushiony.
Yeah.
And it wasn't leather. So it was like soft cushion material.
Yeah.
So that was an awesome thing, and it didn't crush your head because it wasn't too small at the top.
Yeah.
It was like perfect. And then these ones came out, the 700 series of these, and I was like, oh, maybe they'll be good. They're horrible. They're Bluetooth compatible, which is kind of cool. It connects to your phone while you're playing, so if you get calls while you're playing, I used to get calls constantly when we played Destiny, and that's the headset I used to use. So I would answer the phone and talk to Jordan while we were playing.
Oh, nice.
So that was cool. So that was a really awesome feature it had. It was really uncomfortable to wear after like an hour.
So it's family friendly.
Yeah, I mean it was cool for that reason, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of headsets I could have got that would have done the same thing. These are Bluetooth. They're also Wire Studio.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say
I like them. They're nice.
I wouldn't say that they're high grade professional, but I mean they're getting the job done.
Yeah.
So we left off at COD is COD.
COD is COD. I like how we end that sentence.
I am not impressed by your stupid little. You know what I thought was stupid? The stupid little RC car. I didn't like that scene. I didn't like it because it was like they already did it in Black Ops.
I know.
They already did it. It's not impressive.
That's the whole point.
Dude, they gave that stupid RC car away as a kill streak reward DLC if you pre-ordered Black Ops. I remember it. Yeah. I remember
They're just trying to call back to what made the first game what it was.
No, it hasn't been long enough.
They did that with Modern Warfare. They're going to do it again with Black Ops.
Modern Warfare was cool because of the graphical leap that they showed for the era of Modern Warfare. And because COD had been garbage for a really long time. And then they realized they were like, maybe we should go back to something that people actually enjoy playing. And boom, they do Modern Warfare. And it does phenomenal. The campaign is amazing. The online is praised. And then they gave everybody Warzone. Mm-hmm. Better than Zombies. They gave people something different that was better than Black Ops 4. And took the best of multiple worlds of Battle Royale and took the best of Call of Duty and threw it into a Battle Royale, and is probably one of the most it's not perfect. It has its problems, but it is probably one of the most fun Battle Royales that I've played. Next, I like PUBG because it's a little more No. It's more challenging.
There goes half of your viewers right there when you said that. I'm just kidding.
Why? Because I don't like Fortnite? Sorry.
No, Fortnite sucks.
No, I don't like China. Sorry. I like Koreans. That's who makes PUBG.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The COD is COD, and I will not. I was impressed with Modern Warfare because it looked amazing. Call of Duty games thing, it just seems lazy now.
Well, it doesn't.
You said it. It seems lazy.
If you play it, you'll be like, yeah, I could tell this game's not even supposed to be here. Like, this was just them like, shit, let's just make something real quick.
That's my thoughts on it.
But we're spending way too much time on Call of Duty.
Yep. It's 2020. It's a launch. It's the PS5 launch.
Yeah.
So
I'll just play Warzone.
That's a launch. So we've talked about 3 games that are launches on the PS5. One that is not, but is also very interesting to me, was the Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, yeah, that game. We have to be Hufflepuff. We just have to be Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff doesn't get as
I don't know what I'm going to be. I think it looks really cool. Is it a game I would buy a PlayStation 4?
I'm ready to get lost in that game. PS5.
Is it going to be like our new Destiny?
Oh, where are you at? I'm in
the Slithering. I'm in the Chamber of Secrets.
I'm in platform 9 3/4. How do you get to Hogwarts again? I tried running into a wall. It didn't work.
I think it looks really cool. I think it looks original.
People are ready to hate this game because of J.K. Rowling. Well, my point is, you don't have to like. You can chew gum and walk at the same time. You don't have to like or comment, right? But you can still appreciate the game.
It has nothing to do with it.
It has nothing to do with your fault. It has nothing to do with this developer.
I think you get eaten by your own, and you were poking the bear one too many times. And you thought you could keep getting away with saying stupid stuff that sounded stupid and you knew was stupid and you didn't agree with it. And now it's coming back to bite you in the butt. Yeah. So now Hogwarts Legacy is probably either going to get canceled, suffer, or maybe it'll do really well because that's normally what happens when you try to cancel something.
Yeah,
it normally does the opposite and ends up doing really well because people are determined to make sure that what you're setting out to do doesn't come to fruition.
Like Kevin Hart's doing really good, and he was booted from the Oscars.
Yeah, it is not a... This is not a launch title for the PS5.
No.
And I think that's good. I think it's good because it's different, and I don't want them to rush something that's different. Yeah. Is it online? Did they say if it's online?
I have no idea.
I think if that's online, that's going to be pretty tight.
It looked like it was online.
I hope it's online. I think it's a game that could be online. I don't know what you would do with it, but it seems like it
looks fun. I want to play it.
I want to play it. I think it looks good. It brings back those... did you ever play Chamber of Secrets?
Oh, yes, I love that game.
Dude, that was like...
Specifically that one, because that's the only one I remember. I didn't play
the other game was... I didn't play the first one. Shit.
I didn't play the first one. I didn't play the other ones.
I played Goblet of Fire, and it was trash. But I liked Chamber of Secrets. It was really good.
Yes, it was so good.
Yeah, that was my favorite. It brought back those vibes. I think it's a good game that is going to be really different and should get people excited for what's
excited
available.
for it.
I mean, take Hogwarts Legacy and compare it to anything you know that's coming out exclusively on Microsoft. What comes to mind? What can you think of? Ori and the Will of the Wisp, is that what the sequel's called?
Yeah, I think it's called.
I mean, like, I'm not impressed by Ori. I was never impressed by Ori. So, like, and then Forza is not something I like. And then Halo looked like garbage.
Forza 28.
Halo looked like garbage.
Yeah, it looked really bad.
Especially when you compare Halo to Demon's Souls, which is not a first-party game from Sony.
Yeah, people tried justifying, like, the look of that game.
They tried. How could you compare the game Halo Infinite to Demon's Souls, which is not the first party by Sony, the people making it, and it looks astronomically 10 million times better than a first party studio. This was the launch title of the Xbox. The flagship game was Halo Infinite, and they had to delay it because they knew they effed up.
Because it looked like crap.
It looked like garbage. It looked like Halo 3. It was bad. And Halo 3, I saw screenshots of Halo 3 that looked better.
I would be better off playing Halo 3.
It looks MCC version.
Yeah. Because that game looks really good.
It looks terrible. I was really disappointed with what I saw. Especially, like, the movement. Like, it was very slow-paced in the demo.
But the music's like, oh, and it's like,
Halo?
like you're moving really slow.
Like you're just walking around. It's just like, this isn't the original Xbox game. We need speed.
Well, it seemed like they took out the sprint.
But I come off of games like playing Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
And first-person shooters like that, and I'm rushing around blowing things apart. And if you want me to be honest, in terms of first-person shooter mechanics and people wanting to take a page out of somebody's book, take it out of id. And look at what they're doing with Doom.
There's going to be the one guy listening like, Halo isn't Doom. Why would you compare Doom to Halo? If you want to play Doom, then go play Doom.
No, it's not about... We are beyond the point of... Halo does not carry the weight of its series name. Used to. So you have to do something different to get people to play it.
So this is how I thought they were going to do it, and this is how they should do it. It's too late now. They're not going to do it this way. They needed a God of War it. They needed to just call it Halo, and they needed to just make it like different but familiar, because God of War did that and exceedingly it exceeded my expectations, because when God of War was shown, I was like, oh, that's cool. It's Kratos, but it's in a new realm. So that gives them toys to play with, basically a whole new set of toys to play with. And then they introduced the axe, and I'm like, oh, he doesn't even have his chains, so the combat's not going to be different. But it's still, when you play the game, it feels like God of War. It feels familiar, but it's still breath of fresh air. It's still new. Yeah. And you have your son with you. So what they needed to do was do something like that, and this seems like they're just trying to go back to what made the first game special. But the problem is, what made the first game special in a vacuum is still special, but we're at a point now where we've already grown past that. We need something new.
Yeah.
Not going back to the old. And so
Halo looked like Call of Duty.
Just making the game open world was not enough.
Yeah, I would say it's the equivalent of what I saw with Call of Duty with Halo. Halo looked like Halo. So it wasn't any different than what I'm used to. Halo 5 was trash. I'm just going to say that right now.
Like, if I were to have, like, if let's say they came to me, right, hypothetically speaking, they said, make the next Halo. I would have set it not on a familiar place. I would have made it where it's completely different, but yet there's still familiarity in it. But it's not like going to harken back to what made the originals good. It's going to be completely fresh.
I think that the Halo Ring aspect actually improves upon what it's like. I think going back to the ring is the step in the right direction. What needs to be revamped about Halo is not and there would be a lot, you're right, there would people who disagree. I say that a lot about people. There are a lot of people who probably disagree with my opinions. Yeah, I don't care. The thing that needs to change about Halo is the combat aspect, because they tried doing it. They've been trying to do it for like through 3 or 4 different iterations of the game. They did it with Halo 3. They started with Halo 2, the dual wielding. That was a really big aspect. Another thing that was really big with Halo 2 was that the Marines could drive you around instead of you having to do it, and you could shoot. That was really cool. They started implementing different styles of gameplay. Halo 3 took out the dual wielding, or they got rid of some of the dual wielding weapons, and then they nerfed a lot of the guns and made it harder for you to fight. And it was the most challenging game. They gave you gravity hammers. And Halo Reach, it gave you the armor abilities.
The jetpacks.
So that was pretty cool. It was different.
Yeah.
And then Halo 4, was just sprinting. I didn't like Halo. It was like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And
I actually liked Halo 4.
And a lot of people like Halo 5's online because it...
Do they though? Who's still playing it?
Some people...
We just got to talking about Call of Duty.
I guess you would say that... Well, when I was playing it, there were a lot of people playing it. I wasn't playing it like religiously, but there was people constantly on. There was more people on that at the time than there was MCC when it was out.
Oh.
But now I think a lot of people are on MCC because MCC is actually running smoothly.
Well,
finally,
anything that goes to the PC is immediately going to get like a boost in like.
Well, actually, it didn't because they were releasing them slowly.
Popularity.
They only released them one game at a time on the PC.
But that's still good enough for some
I guess
people.
It's better than I think what it ensured was that it wasn't the coding problem. I think that's what it was. Is they just dumped a bunch of emulations into MCC and expected it to work, and it didn't work well because the game had to control all the games at once.
I think like on paper it was supposed to work, but then in execution they were like, oh shit.
I just think they'd never been done before correctly. I don't think that they. So the closest thing that comes close to MCC is like buying one of those like Sega arcade games with like a billion different games on it.
Yeah.
And I think Microsoft's intention was to make a game like that from scratch, and then they just poorly implemented it.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
But enough about Microsoft. This is about Sony's conference.
I did not lie. Well, yeah, it was nothing about.
Can we talk about the first game they showed, which was holy shit?
Yes.
Final Fantasy 16. Doesn't even look like it. Looks like an action game. It doesn't look like an RPG.
It was,
which was crazy to me. Which is good.
You know what the thing about it?
Because Final Fantasy needs
I thought it
something
looked
like
really
that.
good. It looked really different. It took all the things that like 15 had with combat wise, and made. I think it looked better.
European as shit. It looked like not Japanese.
It looked like it looked like the equivalent of bringing like Final Fantasy 4, like on that the one that I like,
fantasy.
Like the one that I like,
super
and
fantasy.
Bringing it to like current day.
And I love the fact that
it was like whoa, I like that there's a castle. I like that it looks like,
the chocobos.
Like it's set in the old times. That's what I want. I don't want to drive around in a stupid car.
They made Shiva like a main character in the trailer.
That is like
yeah, dude.
So I think Final Fantasy 16, and they're saying it's a 2021.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
I think they said it was 2021.
Dude, let's do it already. Yes, let me see it.
I need to see if that's.
We'll probably see more actually at Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah.
Well, I like what I saw.
I'll post it if I find it.
Back to fantasy.
It looks very
There's no
good.
Cars.
Yes, no cars. Give me that.
It looks like they're doing in the trailer. You saw it, right? The trailer, right? The whole thing.
Yeah.
It looks like they're doing like the kind of 15 style like time jump because they show him like young and they show him with a beard and like he's older with the scar.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So that's cool. I think if I'm not mistaken, I should have looked it up before coming, but it was specifically like reminiscent of Final Fantasy 14 in the way it looks, and if I'm not mistaken, it's the guy who's like led 14 is the director.
The game looks like it's taking. Did you replace 6?
Yeah.
The thing with 6 is there wasn't a main character. It was whoever you liked the most could be your main character.
Well, isn't what's her name?
Tara kind of is, but it's more of like the story revolves around her. But because every character gets a lot of
people like Locke.
A lot of Locke and Cyan, I think they get a lot of screen time. Even Shadow, if you do a lot of his stuff, and he gets some screen time. It's whoever you like playing as, and what I got from that trailer is when they showed a lot of the characters, it seemed like what I got was the emphasis that was going to be more than one character that you could play as. And then the big
thing is it's going to be exclusive to the PlayStation.
Like what would have been cool, I think what they're going to do with this one is what they should have done with 15, was that you should have been able to cycle through your entire party for different character, like different enemy types. I think that would have been a very good mechanic to use.
They didn't show us a lot of gameplay. They just showed us mostly the story, which was cool.
16 or 15?
16.
I think that the trailer looked really rushed. That was the one thing I would take away from it. It seemed super like it seemed like they got as much of capture that they could have with the trailer, and then they just slapped like the English voice acting on.
Well,
and
that's
they
why
just
I was
lowered
surprised.
the music all the way.
That's why I was surprised you said 2021.
I think it said 2020. Maybe it's not. Maybe I missed. Maybe I saw a lot of games. I was surprised they were saying 2021.
Yeah,
I think that was one of the titles.
There was a lot of 2021.
I was like, wow, that's a lot of games that they're expecting to. And normally, remember when Sony did that big conference that made me buy my PlayStation 4? It was the conference that showed God of War.
Yeah,
I wanted to buy a PlayStation 4 for that and for Death Stranding, and they didn't give a release date on any of those games that they showed. And I think Sony's kind of learning that their mistakes from that, because they're giving like at least a release year. They can push things back, obviously, and they most likely will. But
it's also coming to PC.
I did see that.
Just so people know.
I did see that. That makes me a little happy. A lot of games actually were coming to PC, just not Demon Souls.
Okay, so it looked Dragon's Dogma-ish because I guess Suzuki was a designer of Dragon's Dogma, who's also going to be leading this game.
I think it's going to be a good, refreshing feel for Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it looks good. I like that. It looks completely different. See, that's what they need to do with Halo.
Just redo it.
I think they just need to
get rid of Master Chief and just redo it.
Even if they did that, I wouldn't be against it.
Nope.
If the execution was good.
Do you know the lore of the Halo franchise? Like
I don't care.
The lore of the Halo franchise is when they fire the rings, or they fire the artifacts that can eliminate the flood. It's supposed to reset the universe or a sector of the universe. Cortana should have just fired the rings at Halo 5.
So how cool would it have been then? Is if the whole game you're thinking, oh, the universe reset. That's why I'm not playing as Master Chief. And then halfway through the game, or maybe the last level climax of the game, he's there.
He warps in
and
from
he shows
nowhere.
Up.
That would have been amazing. They would have Metal Gear Solid to it, and they just blow your mind.
And then, like the back end of the game is you as Chief again, and it's amazing.
Imagine this.
It's fresh.
Just imagine this. You're some other super soldier somewhere else, and it's completely different. Like you're losing the war and everything, and you're like looking for these last ditch, trying to do everything. You're trying to save civilization.
It's like Mass Effect 2 Suicide Mission.
And so like you're trying to figure it out, and the last level is they detect something in deep space somewhere, right? And they're like, what the heck's going on? And it's a ring.
It can be like,
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And they're like, and you don't even know it's a Halo game until that moment you see that, and you're like,
oh, you're saying,
holy that.
Oh, that's better.
I feel like
that's so meta.
What are people doing?
You're saying they should have don't even call it Halo.
Yeah, they shouldn't have even called it Halo.
Pretend it's like a whole new IP, and then the last.
They should have said made by 343 Industries.
Yeah, and then the back end of it is like it's Halo.
They should learn from Kojima. Why isn't anybody learning from Kojima? The guy's ahead of his time with what he does.
Yep. Every single time. He never misses.
No, it's ridiculous. People need to understand that the game industry has so much more potential.
That's why I wanted you to play Death Stranding, because I feel like it's not getting enough credit.
I need to play it on PC.
He put a whole social media spin in his game.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to play it. I haven't played it.
Everything that you get in your world is based off of likes that you get. So the amount of likes you get determines how big.
So what happens if nobody's playing the game?
I don't know. I haven't.
And you don't get anything.
No, you'll get likes from like NPCs, but the majority of the lion's share of your likes is from other players using your equipment.
Okay.
So it's determined basically how popular you are. That's how far you're gonna get in the game. Like that's how good your base is gonna become. That's how like good your equipment's gonna become. You need likes, which is amazing. Which is a testament to like where we're at right now in society.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I need to play it. I'm just gonna play it on PC.
Yeah.
I think Final Fantasy 16 shows a lot of. It's what I want to see in this next generation. I want to see game industries do something different for once. I'm tired of seeing the same.
Kojima
same
did
old,
that?
same old. He created a new genre.
Yeah.
So.
And then he's like, I didn't. But then he did because.
Well, then what would he even classify it
that
as?
game is not like any other game.
No, he's ridiculous. He's just
I think he was trying to be humble about it.
I think so.
And then there's Japanese to English translation issues.
I don't stand Kojima as much as I don't stand Kojima as much as other people. I really do like him though. I really think he's probably one of the best. There's a lot of people would disagree with me.
Who cares?
But in terms of what I've seen, what that man can put out, The man blows my mind every time.
Yeah.
So I'm not disappointed with what he puts out.
He never misses.
Nope. The next thing on my list is Resident Evil 8 or Village, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know how I feel about this one. I really, really loved RE2, and I really, really loved RE7.
But it's 7. It's like a sequel to 7.
It's just, it seems like it's just 7 again. But
no, I don't see it that way.
Like, it seems like it's 7 again, but like, let's try to get that RE4 feeling.
No, I think it's even bigger. So they took the original concept of Resident Evil 4, the whole like old school like Universal Monster era stuff, like werewolves, creatures from the lagoon, vampires. Like, I think what they're gonna hit on is that this virus kind of like does those kind of things, which will be really cool to see. It looks like they have mad villagers.
Yeah.
So I think it's taking a lot of things from a lot of different horror elements and a lot of Resident Evil elements and combining them into this one. I really, really think that the transition from third person to first person for Resident Evil was again one of those mechanics that was like game changing for the series.
And that's what Halo needs. I keep going back to Halo because I feel bad for that series.
It's just abused. They think that people want Halo Combat Evolved, and what they actually want is another Halo Reach. That's what people really want.
They want the magic back. It's not gonna come from them rehashing the original.
That's why I'm saying Halo Reach, because I think Halo Reach was the last like game that at least most of the fans liked.
Oh yeah. And that one's definitely praised universally.
I think because it's Bungie's last one.
Yeah. They had to make
look
sure
where Bungie's at now.
They had to make sure it was good.
I think that Resident Evil switching from the third person to the first person was a really good idea. It saved the game.
Yeah,
it saved the series.
No, before 7, that series was a joke.
Yeah, 6 and serious? Revelations 1 and 2. Yeah. I thought they were garbage. I did not like
6 was so bad.
I didn't play 6. I played 5. I
love 5.
I like 5 when I play with other people. But if I was going to, like, if you sat me in a room and you told me I had to pick which Resident Evil I had to play until I left the room and had to beat it, it wouldn't be 5.
I have the weirdest
It'd be 4.
Relationship with that series.
It'd be Resident Evil 4.
Because I'm like, 6 was terrible. And then I'm like, 5, I love it.
Well, 5 was good.
5
I think
good.
5's, action-wise, 5 was really good.
I think 5, take away the fact that it's a Resident Evil game, I think 5 is legitimately a really good game and a really good co-op game. One of the best co-op games.
It's like when you play Army of Two.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a good couch co-op game. Even online, I can. If you were to ask me if I wanted to play it, I would play it. I would definitely get on and play it.
I'm so down. I love that game.
I won't even lie.
I don't know when this game's coming out. Is it 2021? Right.
Resident Evil 8.
2021.
I did not write down
I know. I
the
think
date.
it is.
I think it's a 2021 title.
Yeah.
We know it's not exclusive to PlayStation 5.
No.
I assume it's going to be on everything, including the Switch.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's going to be on the Switch.
The Switch. I don't know about the Switch.
I think it's going to be on the Switch. Watch.
Nintendo's weird because
I think half the stuff they're able to get on the Switch.
Nintendo always
crazy.
hits a wall, like
dude. They're gonna
half of the generation that they've been out.
They're putting Wolfenstein
where
on the
they
Switch,
just can't
though.
put any other third-party games on.
They're putting Doom Eternal on the Switch.
That's true.
I mean, like, they can't put... That doesn't mean that they won't... I think they'll be able to put this. They're putting a lot of things on the Switch. The Switch has become one of the most versatile consoles across the board.
It's gonna I think it's gonna hit Game Boy levels of... original Game Boy levels of...
dude, it's hitting...
Success.
That is lightning in a bottle. Nintendo...
Yeah.
Like, it sucks that Nintendo doesn't like to do back compat as much as they should.
If
they did the entire Nintendo lineup, they could literally call the Switch the Nintendo machine.
You know how many people will rush out if they were like Double Dash? Here you go. Melee. Here you go.
Right there. Boom.
Freaking Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Here you go.
And then they were like, all the controllers are versatile.
Yeah. Just bring your remotes.
Yep. They just made a port that every remote. I think that some of these video game companies need to hire me.
Yes.
Or you. Or people who actually play video games. I think there's too many companies that care about the money aspect of things. You lose. That's why I like Nintendo. Nintendo makes a lot of decisions based off of how fun they think something's going to be. And sometimes they could turn around and bite
they're not afraid to take risks.
Well, they're also not afraid to delay their games like they should. Like other companies have a problem doing. Nintendo never rushes a product out. Never.
No.
And I like that about them.
I like their new approach, which is like, we're not going to tell you about a game until it's like 3 weeks away from releasing.
Dude,
here's the game. I know you like it.
You'll play it. All Stars.
Yeah, like here's the game. I know you like it, right? And then by the time you get paid again, you can play it. Like I love that.
I've been playing today. I was playing Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine. Like that was what I was playing all day.
I was playing Galaxy before I got here. Galaxy is so freaking.
I can't even imagine like. See, Nintendo is able to do that with, again, coming back to Halo.
I still
like Odyssey came out and it gave me hardcore. It gave me hardcore Mario 64 vibes.
I still say Odyssey is the best game on the Switch.
I think Odyssey is one of the best games on the Switch. Next to Smash Brothers.
I haven't felt like
I'm just a Smash Brothers guy.
That game made me feel. I haven't felt this way in a while. That game legitimately made me feel like a kid again, like playing it.
It was classic Nintendo. It was like Breath of the Wild.
My jaw hit the floor.
I
was playing a Mario game and my jaw hit the floor like 4 times.
Because
it's so good.
The Switch came out so. That's what I hope that PlayStation is able to do. And right now, it's not looking good with these 2 consoles that are coming out. The Switch came out swinging.
Yeah.
These consoles are coming out limping.
I think Sony's in a good place.
Demon's Souls.
I think Sony's in a good place because they have Demon's Souls. They have Ratchet and Clank, which looks like it's utilizing.
Is that a launch title?
It's launch window, I think.
It's not a launch title,
but it's going to utilize.
Like I want to know what am I playing day one? Because day one I was able to play. Day one I was able to play Zelda. I was able to play Zelda on my Switch day one.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I want to know what. That's why I'm confused.
Well, they blew their load at the tail end of the PS4 because their Naughty Dog game was at the tail end of the PS4.
Well, they invested in the wrong game.
Ghost of Tsushima was at the tail end, but you'll be able to play those presumably on the PS5.
It's disappointing. These consoles, even though Nintendo doesn't make as much money as PlayStation and Xbox,
I'll put it this way:
these consoles never come close to the factor of like excitability that I get from a Nintendo console ever.
I'll put it this way: PS5 at least has games at launch. I don't know what Xbox has at this point.
Xbox has nothing.
Yeah,
dude, Xbox literally, it was an empty load. They were like. They blew their load before they started.
I respect the delay because what it was like, I was like, they'll never delay it because this is their game and they're this is how they try to win. They have a heavy hitter, like kind of like to your point, like Sony doesn't have like a first party game at launch. I mean, they, for all intents and purposes, own the Demon's Souls game.
But it's not just like Demon's Souls. It's not like Uncharted's releasing.
But people are not going to
5.
associate Demon's Souls with Sony as much as like Uncharted or
Crash 4 should be releasing with. Crash 4 should be releasing as a launch title with PlayStation 5. If you want to like capture that original PlayStation feel, why did you not make Crash 4 a launch title? That was, I'm pretty sure, a launch title on. I'm pretty sure it was a launch title on the original PlayStation. I get it.
Well, it's Activision.
I know
now.
that they're releasing the game on all the other systems. But why didn't Sony make sure that was the not best they can timed exclusive?
Oh yeah, like the collection.
That was like missing out on a lot of potential money.
The collection being exclusive for the first year was like Sony giving them money to do that. And now that the first collection was so successful, Activision's like, we don't need your money anymore because Crash is back. So I don't think Activision cares in that sense. And they are doing like they just did like an exclusive demo on the network for Crash 4. I think that's the best they could do now without fully owning the IP, which is not going to happen. Activision is not going to give it away. But I feel bad for Microsoft. I respect that they delayed Halo because now they literally have nothing. But
yeah, they're telling people to buy their systems with nothing.
But they are, pushing Game Pass, which is
unless
still good.
They pull something out their ass last minute.
Game Pass is really good still.
Yeah, but what do you need a new system to play any of those games for?
Yeah, they haven't given anyone a real reason to like
buy an Xbox.
Buy what is being marketed as
Demon's Souls is the selling
most
factor right now.
Console.
Demon's Souls is the selling factor of the PlayStation 5 right now. As of right now,
I'm literally buying it just for that game.
That is why I'm
buying it just for
I'm
that
telling
game.
you right now, if that had not been shown, I wouldn't even want to buy a PlayStation 5.
No.
Do you know why? I want to experience the SSD power of that system.
I was surprised
that is why.
I was legitimately surprised that Demon's Souls was a launch game. I think it's smart they did that because going into it, I was like, well, I'll get it eventually when Ratchet and Clank is out because that's what I'm really looking forward to. And Demon's Souls, who knows when that's coming out? And then they're like, it's a launch title.
And you were like, what?
And they didn't say that at the conference. I don't know why they waited for Jeff Keighley to tweet it out.
I think it's funny that.
But it worked because now the games, the pre-order numbers are flying off the.
Like, I mean, like you can't even order one. You can't even order a PlayStation 5.
People are killing each other.
I've been trying. So that's. Anyways, that was a long tangent of what I think Resident Evil has done.
That was correctly. A long tangent of you saying Nintendo's still the best.
I think it is. Yeah. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I don't stand Nintendo. Like I'm not. Yeah, I call it Nintendo's BS on things that I don't like too. I think their online infrastructure is garbage. I think their online infrastructure is garbage. I understand why, and I think it's really smart actually, especially being a parent. They have a really tight control over their parental controls over other systems.
Once you go online, it's hard to like censor.
So it's really awesome for parents who want their kids to have the same kind of experience in a very clean fashion, because those Modern Warfare lobbies were not the most.
They were the opposite of family friendly.
Yeah, it's not like I think my kids are super sensitive.
Even just right now in the beta, in the alpha I was playing for Black Ops, it's the same. It's the same as it always has been.
It's the same people playing. That's why. Do you think a COD player stopped? You're a testament. You think a COD player stops playing Call of Duty?
No, I still play it.
I'm still playing it. I think that I have a lot of hope for what Resident Evil 8 has going for it. 8, yeah. I get a lot of Resident Evil 4 vibes. I really liked Resident Evil 4 a lot. I think the gameplay was really awesome. And if you take the gameplay from Resident Evil 7, you combine it into this new game, and it's the engine that runs Resident Evil 2 and 7, or maybe it's even a different one, you already know the game's going to look good. The soundtrack to 7 was really good. The remade soundtrack to 2 was really good. Unless they F up the game and go a Resident Evil 6 route somehow, I can't see how they F up Resident Evil 8. I think they're capitalizing on something they know is going to work well.
I think they're intentionally. Sorry to cut you off. I think they're intentionally trying to give you the RE4 vibe again, because I really feel like their next game is going to be RE4 remake.
I think it's going to come out right before it. I think it's coming out. I think that's going to be a secret release next year.
Oh, I think so. Yeah,
I think they're going to announce it, and it's going to be like a week.
I think they're so afraid to redo RE4 because they're afraid to mess it up.
Well, I mean, look at some of
RE2 has given them the confidence they need, I think.
Dude, I think Resident Evil 4
RE2 remake
is literally Resident Evil 2's remake, but it's just Resident Evil 2 is Resident Evil 2. You take that mechanic, it's already Resident Evil 4. You just have to build the world around it. The one thing I don't want them to do, I don't want them to do a Resident Evil 3 job on that game.
No, they won't. No, there's no way they do that.
They cannot cut out content from that game. If they cut content out of Resident Evil 4, they will piss everybody off.
If they mess up RE4, they're done.
They know that is next to Resident Evil 2. That is the most highly praised Resident Evil game is Resident Evil 4. Yes. If they F it up, they will lose everybody for Resident Evil 8.
There are non-horror game fans that love RE4.
They cannot do Resident Evil 4. Look at what
there are non-RE
Chris will do. Look what Chris will do if they do that. He's gonna call us out. Because if it doesn't look anything like the original Resident Evil 4, if it doesn't look anything like what Resident Evil 4 was, it's not as long. It doesn't have every scene. He doesn't get to see the Krauser knife fight scene. Yeah. He's gonna be pissed off.
They have a lot of.
I think they realize they bit off a lot more than they can chew fast, and I think they haven't said anything about Resident Evil 4 because they're taking their time on it. That's what I'm hoping. Yes. I'm hoping that they're working hard on Resident Evil 8 to be really good, because I want it to be as good as Resident Evil 2, and I want the remake of 4 to be just as good as that game, because when you play the remake of 2, it's like playing a new game.
So good, I never even played the original.
Dude,
and I love the RE2 remake.
My favorite thing about Resident Evil 2, I never got to do it. I was going to do a video on it. I never got around to doing it. I wrote up the script and everything. I had the gameplay.
You could still do it then.
I'm planning on doing it. I wrote up the script and everything for the game. I have the whole review done. One of my favorite things about the game is the zombies themselves. The animations, the how they walk, and they don't really like speed up. But the funny thing is when you get too close to them, they react like immediately. It is and then it's not only just one. If you get more than one zombie on you,
it's frightening. It's terrifying.
Effed.
Yeah,
it is insane.
It's like this game of cat and mouse.
And I love that Mr. X just comes around whenever he feels like. I really like that.
Which is what Nemesis was supposed to do, and Nemesis didn't do that.
That was stupid. That's why I was mad at. That's why I didn't buy Resident Evil 3.
No, I think they learned their lesson with RE3 remake.
I hope so. It's already on sale.
Yeah, RE3 like I was just thinking about it today actually. I was like, man, RE3 remake was actually really disappointing.
Yeah, and people paid $60 for it.
It was not supposed to be 60.
But they should have. Why didn't they just? It made more sense to make it an add-on to Resident Evil 2.
Well,
why not just call it like episode? Why not call it episode Jill or something?
Well, presumably these remakes were made like at the same time, like concurrently. So I don't think they anticipated. Like, I feel like if they had known what they did.
Did they really think that the game wasn't going to do commercially well? Resident Evil 2 is like one of the highly praised
I think they thought that they can get away with cutting corners with RE3. And it turns out that everyone compared it to RE2, which was amazing. So they kind of stepped on their own. They kind of tripped over their own success.
And that's what I'm hoping they learn from that experience. And you know what? I'm glad, because I think Resident Evil 3 is like, I think people will like it the least.
I don't want to be a dick. I'd rather them mess up 3 if
and
that,
get
means,
4
if that means that it
really
saves
well.
4. Yeah.
I think that's what I would rather have, because I don't care about 3 because I never played it.
Oh, David would not like that.
Well, he just likes looking at Jill, though. So,
he's gonna say that's not confirmed.
I think. Oh, and then the other thing it gives the Resident Evil 4 vibes a lot is they brought back a merchant, even though he's English.
Well, there's a castle, right?
Yeah, but they brought back like this cool like English.
Yeah, he looks like a merchant.
He looks like old school. He looks like Penguin from Batman.
He's gonna be like, "Oi, what are you selling?
Yeah.
What are you buying?"
That's cool to me. I think that's what they were really saying. So I think that they're really. I think that they know what they're doing. I trust Capcom.
No, I trust them.
I trust them.
Capcom has my trust.
Yeah, they've renewed it.
DMC5, like, what the fuck? DMC5, like, it looks so good.
I need to play it. I want to play it. I should play it. It's on Game Pass.
You can edit.
It's on the PC Game Pass.
What?
DMC5.
Oh,
I haven't.
I'm just
saying. It's on the. I'll bleep it out.
Okay.
I said it earlier too, and I bleeped it out.
No, we're gonna get in trouble.
We're gonna get in trouble.
People from church listen to us. They're gonna be like,
look at my face. The people who have not contacted me in like 8 years.
Yeah.
I don't care. Not that I don't care about you. If you were my friend at one point,
we care about all of our viewers.
Right?
That's what you mean to say.
It's more of like, I'm a big boy now.
It's more like, don't judge me.
I'm a big boy. No, I'm
a big boy. So I said
one
bad word. Don't judge me for it. I'm a human being.
What bad word? All I heard was a beep.
Oh.
That's what everybody you heard. I got to hear the bad word. You all heard a beep.
Nice save.
We
can do a whole podcast on Capcom.
Yeah.
Let's just put a bookmark on what.
Yeah, we know that the last thing I'll say is I know that I trust Capcom. You trust Capcom. I think they know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I think Resident Evil 8's in good hands.
Yes.
The next item on my list after Resident Evil, though, was not as satisfying to me, and that was Deathloop.
I was just going to bring that up.
I think Deathloop, it's like a... You know what the thing about it is that they keep like praising it like it's going to be this really big deal, and to me it just feels like I'm watching a Dishonored playthrough, or I'm watching just something else that just something really quick that Bethesda's putting out.
I'm at this weird place. I'm at this weird place in my life where like I don't know how I feel about Bethesda right now, because I at one point legitimately loved that company and I thought they were amazing and they could do no wrong, and I thought Todd Howard was a cool guy. He knew what he was doing. And then Fallout 4 happened. Honestly, I did not like Fallout 4. I did not get into it.
I played,
and I love Fallout 3.
I have like 40 hours in Fallout 4, and I only got up to the point where you get to not Rivet City, the baseball Diamond City.
Mm-hmm.
Like you meet the detective there, and you have to go to the vault down below, and that was the last mission I remember doing. And I remember after that, I was just like, I'm going to go play Fallout in New Vegas.
Yeah, so 4 disappointed me. And then Rage 2 came out, and I was like, oh, Rage 2. Because I like really loved Rage. Rage 2 was not very...
Dude, you were excited for Rage 2, and I was excited for Wolfenstein and Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah, and then like this New Blood Wolfenstein or whatever, or Young Blood, whatever they did. It was like a co-op game.
I heard... Well, it wasn't what people like were expecting, but I heard it didn't do terrible. Because if you like Wolfenstein, it's Wolfenstein still.
Oh, okay.
And so it's
maybe I'm just
like Wolfenstein.
Maybe I'm just complaining.
New
about
Colossus
Bethesda.
Wasn't as good as the New Order, but I mean it's killing Nazis, dude. It's fun. I like Wolfenstein. I think now that's id though. So
yeah, but I mean like
that's completely
and then
different.
Fallout 76 is a whole nother.
That's Well, Bethesda's like a hybrid monster that has like it has like Doom. A Hydra with some good heads.
It has Doom,
and it's got some really retarded heads on it on top of it. And one of those retarded heads is Fallout 76, is Fallout 4, is the multiple million mods and versions of Skyrim.
We're gonna patch in NPCs,
like just doing the same thing over and over. And then id's over here knocking it out of the park with Doom Eternal,
which is good for Bethesda.
Doom Eternal was phenomenal.
I can't wait
Doom
to play
Eternal
it.
was one of the unique.
Well, I have it ready.
PC. Playing on PC.
I have it ready for the PS5. I'm gonna get the upgrade.
Deathloop looks very gimmicky.
I don't.
Deathloop
really care about
looks
that game.
very
it looks
boring.
Kind of it looks kind of Tarantino-y, like Tarantino-esque.
I guess if you applied, did you watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No.
Kind of gives that kind of feel, like the music and even the people. It gives a really big vibe of a 70s kind of flick. I don't like it. Normally, I like the whole aspect of like time travel and stuff like that. I'm not a fan of whatever this game's trying to do.
No, I don't care.
I don't care about it. It seems, this is what I got from it. It seems like a puzzle shooter. Kind of like situational where you have to do things in a certain order to make things work. No, Super Hot was more of Super Hot was your movements. Every movement is, you plan every step.
Yeah.
This is kind of like that, I guess, then, but not in a...
Or is it more like arcadey? Like Time Crisis-y?
It's like timed. You have... I think what the aspect they're trying to get through is... I think the goal of the game is to kill all your targets before you die. Or before you get killed. And I think you have to be one step ahead of the AI that's trying to kill you.
Right? So I think...
So the point of the game is to do it without dying. People are going to try to... I wonder if the game's even possible to beat without dying.
Oh.
No, I wonder how far the aspect of the game. Are they going to Breath of the Wild do the game? No. Breath of the Wild did something that a lot of video game companies hate Nintendo over for, is the the accessibility to the environment of everything around it. And it opened up many possibilities to make games non-linear. And it is probably the biggest boon and the biggest weakness to the video game industry now, because you have expectations that need to be met for your player base now.
Exactly.
And I wonder if that's what Bethesda's doing with Deathloop, is that they're capitalizing on this aspect of there's many ways to beat this game, and you could go all the way to the end if you can figure it out, or you can take your time and do things really stylish, or you can go guns blazing. I just want to know what the game's about. So far from watching the trailers, I haven't gotten anything that was like gimmicky in the way where I find it entertaining.
I wasn't like, I need this.
Yeah. It's more of like, I'll play it when it goes to Game Pass.
It was more of like, okay, this is cool. Can we get to like Demon's Souls and like the other stuff?
I don't even think it's exclusive on PS5 either. I think that's on PC too.
So just showing it off there.
And then I'm wondering, is the person trying to kill you going to be somebody who's coming into your game?
Is it launching?
To kill you?
Is it launching with the PS5?
Again, I did not write down if that one was launch or not. I missed that.
I assume that's why they showed it there.
I know DMC5 is.
Yes.
But Deathloop is not. Deathloop has been one of the games that Sony's been showing, though.
I looked it up. It's also launching alongside the Series X. They just had it at Sony's.
What? The
DMC?
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's...
Oh, it says mid-2021, according to this Wikipedia.
Yeah, I don't
understand. It's a time console exclusive.
What, Deathloop?
Yeah.
So it's going to be on PlayStation and PC launch, and then it's going to be on Xbox
later on.
And then when it comes to Xbox, it'll just be on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So why would I even buy it? So there's not really an incentive to buy this Bethesda game. I have a policy that I don't buy most Bethesda games unless it's made by id. Now, I will not buy a game that is not made by id. By Bethesda.
Yeah, even Rage 2 wasn't made by id.
So, yeah, see, they messed up.
That should have been my red flag, but I was like, it's Rage 2, I need it. And then
I had some fears. I was honestly, when I first started playing Doom Eternal, I was really afraid because I was sucking really bad at the beginning of it, and I was like, ah. And then something that was pointed out by the makers of the game, the director of the game, he was like, what we call it, they call the mechanic of the game the Doom Dance. And it's a really funny coined term, but there's a real flow to how you play the game, especially on the harder difficulties. And if you don't, you're gonna die a lot. Yeah. And
so then you embrace the dance.
Yeah, I took it at stride, and it's so much. That's why it's so much more fun on the PC.
Now, yeah.
On the keyboard, it makes more sense because all those functions have a button.
Yeah.
On the controller, I have to push multiple buttons.
It's all hotkeys, right?
Yeah. I have to push multiple buttons on my controller to do one task. Whereas here on my keyboard, every single action that I do is one button.
You don't have to yell at me. I understand.
Well, I'm talking about.
I know I'm a console pleb.
The Doom dance makes more sense. Maybe
on the
to
keyboard.
me, maybe it was easier for me to adapt because I had more things available to me. So maybe that's why I like the game so much.
And maybe it was made for PC first, and they just brought it downwards.
I think so. Maybe. The next game that was shown was Oddworld Soulstorm.
I don't know about this game very much.
It looks like Oddworld.
Well, I've always known. Okay, so Oddworld's like that cousin that you have at a party that you always see him, but you've never talked to him your whole life. Like I've always seen Oddworld like in the store, like even as a kid, because they had it on PS1.
I played it.
I've always known of the IP. I've just never played it. Like
it's a really
never played Oddworld.
It's like it's almost like if you played it added a Pikmin, if it was Pikmin before Pikmin, but you don't get to use the Mudokons.
I get it
the way that Pikmin does. And they're very chained to the environment, and they're very susceptible to being destroyed.
Well, I get that, but why another one?
Well, it's more than just it's a platformer.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming out with that's a game I didn't talk about that they didn't show at the event was the Sackboy game. That's a launch title.
Oh, yeah.
But that's it's their platformer.
Sure.
And it's not a kids platformer though, so it's not made for children.
Which one? Oddworld?
I think Oddworld is it an M?
I think it's mature. Yeah.
I think it's M-rated game. So it's not they're definitely not releasing it for
they're not releasing it
children.
To be, yeah.
Speaking of children, they're not releasing it for children.
What do you mean?
Play.
I don't hear anything. You edited it out.
The people that game is being made for is people who've stuck with Sony for a long time, I would assume. And so I like the way it looked, especially things that you can do in environments in games like this now. It ups the ante of the stress factor of trying to save all the Mudokons.
Is that the little
that's
people?
Your character Abe, they're called Mudokons. And this game takes place, I think, right after either Oddworld 1 or 2 in the storyline. So what's really cool is it's been over 20-something years since Oddworld came out on the PlayStation, and the game is supposed to take place immediately after one of these games. Oh, okay. So it's like they picking up right where they left the game off. That's a really cool thing. And so they're throwing a lot of new mechanics into the game, and they're doing what they should have done with, again, we'll just go back to it, Halo. They're reopening these IPs up and finding new possibilities on re-releasing them. I hope Microsoft's taking some notes.
Yeah.
Because I think if Microsoft doesn't start learning
that they have to care about
the games that they're pushing out, because they can't just be like, oh, we'll just make our money off the third party that's on the Game Pass and Games of the Year, because the hardware is definitely not going to make them all their money.
Yeah.
Especially when you're emphasizing that your games are still going to be playable on the Xbox One. They're going to be playable on the PC. They're going to be playable on Xbox Cloud. They're going to be playable on your Xbox Series S, your Series X, and the Digital X.
Yeah.
You have 7 different consoles that are going to be playable with these games, but what games do you have that you're putting on this hardware? I'm not going to buy every system, so you're not going to make a lot of money off of me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they have now. Halo was their biggest one.
They got nothing.
It's gone.
Forza, there's a lot of people who like Forza. Cool. You like race car games.
Yeah.
What does that do for the average person who plays video games?
Yeah, and then Sony has Gran Turismo coming out.
There's nothing really going for it. That's what I gotta say about Oddworld. It looks cool.
Sure.
I think it's a niche game.
Yeah,
but it's definitely a really cool to see that.
I like that they're giving it its due though.
It's cool because
its presentation.
It gets its own. Yeah, it gets its own presentation. Yeah. It's made for a specific audience of people who know this kind of game is on PlayStation, because it's not a Mario platformer. It's a more mature platformer, showing that platformers are not just for kids.
Yeah.
That's what I get from it.
And Sony gets that.
Yeah, and that's why I like Sony, because they cater to different audiences than Nintendo does. The Five Nights at Freddy's thing.
Yeah, we can skip that.
That looks stupid.
I'm not 12 years old.
They showed Fortnite.
All I was going to say was my 12-year-old cousin loves that game.
I think a lot of kids in that age range like that.
And he loves Fortnite as well. He likes those two games, actually, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, see, it's perfect. Then the PlayStation 5's for him because they're both on there.
See?
Gotta let him know.
It's catering to everybody, dude. It's
got
Souls fans.
Fortnite's a launch.
Oddworld fans. Like it's got everything.
Fortnite's a launch title. Well, I guess launch. It's expected.
Yeah.
I hate that it's everywhere. I think it's an infection.
It's not going to go
on my
away.
Computer chair. It's everywhere.
Well, it's not going.
No, it's expected.
It's
not even like I was surprised. Obviously, it's like Call of Duty. It's like I know it's going to be at a game event.
It sucks
it's
that they stole the idea from somebody else.
PUBG.
Yeah.
We obviously talked about Demon Souls, and we could talk about it more if you want. I can.
Well, I just hope that. I hope that it works at launch. I think it will. As far as like the multiplayer goes, I'm very curious to see how that works. But I'm very excited for it.
I think it's gonna be good. I think it's.
So to me, like I've never beaten Demon Souls. I slept on that series until Dark Souls. So like to me, having the whole like Dark Souls 1 experience again, which is like fresh, going in fresh, seeing this whole new world. It's kind of like Mario 64, where you don't have. It's not a set path. You choose which portal you want to jump into. And you can choose. People build their characters off of which area they go to first, because there's certain boss items that yield certain, items for your build. Demon Souls. So like if you're a rogue, you want to go to the X level first, and if you're going to be a straight knight, you go to Y level first. So like it's very broad.
Okay.
Versus like Dark Souls, which was very linear. Like you just go this way.
You go this path, and choosing your attributes definitely does help you or break you.
Demon Souls, you just go anywhere you want.
That's pretty cool.
Like all the levels are there.
I'd want to play it.
Unless they change it.
I want to play it. I just haven't. I've never played Demon Souls, so I missed that train too. And I didn't
play it either. But I'm so excited.
I don't know why I don't find it entertaining to sit in front of my console and get punished repeatedly in Dark Souls by myself. And I don't find it entertaining, especially with how I don't know where I'm going half the time.
Yeah.
And it makes it it's why I like playing. Obviously, playing Dark Souls with people is not the way you should play, but I really enjoy playing with people and playing 3.
I love playing with people.
I like playing with people in 3. I like the banter. I like making fun of people when they die.
And then the whole respect the duel thing.
Yeah, I sit back and I let duels happen. It's really cool. I respect the community. I would rather play with people. It's why I like Bloodborne.
That's fine.
And I never got far in Bloodborne. I want to play Sekiro.
Oh, it's so good.
And I realize that Sekiro is only a single player game. Yeah. And I have not bit the bullet on buying it yet.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to waste money on something I don't know if I'm going to play.
It's going to piss you off for sure. But it's a good game.
You know what pissed me off when I first started playing, actually, was Ghost of Tsushima.
Uh-huh.
I thought at first when you don't have a lot of the fighting stances and stuff, fighting people gets so tedious.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I think about the game.
Why doesn't that game have a lock on? That's what pisses me off.
It does have a lock on. And I found that out very annoyingly as I would push in joysticks as I was dodging attacks half the time, and I would change looking at people.
Oh.
It's not a visible lock on. It's more of the camera.
It's like a visual.
It's like the camera focuses on an enemy that's moving with the camera, and that's how the lock on works. It's not like there's a ring around this guy and this is the guy you're looking at.
Oh, okay.
It's like wherever the camera is going, it'll focus on that guy with you in the background, like watching it. But the farther along you get in the game, it definitely gets more. It just becomes so open to the combat. It's so funny. You can just dispatch people so quickly, and that game, I love it. The PlayStation Collection is something we hit on already.
Yeah, sure.
It's their cheap Game Pass.
It'll be nice,
right? That's what we theorize it is.
Yep. I haven't played Days Gone, so I'll play it.
What do they mean that it's not like Game Pass?
You have to download it. You can't stream anything. I mean, I guess that's how Game Pass is. It's not like Game Pass in the sense of like it's just their catalog. Game Pass is like, I think recently they had FF15 on it, Devil May Cry on it. Like it seems like it's just going to be their first party games. Okay,
so they're not going to have the third party thing going for it.
No,
I mean, it's not really.
Well,
I don't really care.
PS Now has third party.
Yeah, I don't really care about. I don't care about third party. I don't buy consoles for third parties. I buy consoles for your exclusives, which is again coming. Yeah. I think this video should actually be titled "Microsoft Sucks" because I keep coming back to Microsoft.
Well, they have a lot of improvement that they can make
in terms of software.
First party, yeah.
Software is what I want to see.
Their service is great. Like, don't get me wrong.
Okay,
their service is great.
They announced Fable. That's something off the top of my head that they know that they announced. Exactly.
No one cares.
Exactly. You were the only person that I talked to that was like, yeah, Fable.
Yeah, but then I thought about it. I'm like, wait, but it's just Fable again. Like, I want new.
What's new?
Which sounds hypocritical because I'm excited for Demon's Souls. But aside from that, I want new.
But it's when it's done correctly, remade games can be good.
Yeah.
Spyro, Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, yeah, like Demon's Souls looks like a whole new game.
Yeah. It looks completely different.
In the same vein as like Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
It looked like a whole new game.
There's nothing that Microsoft is going for it. You're not going to convince me to buy your system with your third-party games.
Yeah.
Because your third-party games are going to look 10 times better on my PC.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy your console for things like Unraveled, or I'm not going to buy it for Halo 2's deformed cousin, Halo Infinite. I'm not going to buy your system for these things. PlayStation 5 showed off its hardware.
Especially when they're like, oh, you could also play it on the PC.
Also, the other thing about Xbox is that they did not show very much gameplay for anything. And I'm pretty sure Sony showed a lot of gameplay for every game that they showed.
Yeah, they had gameplay for everything.
PlayStation blew it out of the water. PlayStation wins. 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. It was really good. It was a really good conference.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. PlayStation, especially at the end when you show the God of War teaser.
Oh, yes.
That is like... Let's just get right into
when
that.
He said one more thing,
I was like, I knew it.
I did not think it was going to be
God of War. I knew that's what it was. I was like, it's God of War. I was like, they're going to show the big surprise for God of War 2021.
Oh, yes. I wanted it to be like something weird, like Dino Crisis or something. But God of War 2 is cool.
Well, they got Capcom's got their hands full with the Resident Evil 4 remake and the Resident Evil 8.
Yeah.
And if I want somebody to make Dino Crisis remake, it's going to be the people who are making Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Like, you want justice to be done to that game. Especially a game that is less known than Resident Evil, but made by the same people. Because it's literally taking the Resident Evil 2 engine, probably, and just replacing all the zombies with dinosaurs and the environment with
that'd be so
whatever
good.
That game. Is that how you imagine it?
That's how I imagine it.
Yeah. So it's taking that entire engine and just putting it in Dino Crisis mode. Don't they take place in the same world?
I don't know.
Supposedly, I don't know. I
think Parasite Eve was trying to be like, but that's Square Enix. I don't know.
I think PlayStation 1 with God of War.
But Ragnarok. No, I was just gonna say Ragnarok. I mean, they've been hyping it the whole first game.
That was a man.
I thought it was gonna be like a trilogy thing where like they don't get to Ragnarok till like the third game. But
dude, what's the next one going to be? Or maybe there won't be another one.
Maybe.
And nobody said there has to be.
Maybe Ragnarok will jettison him to like another mythology.
I hope so. Maybe send him back in time.
Maybe
we know that
he'll go Egypt.
We know the pantheons. Obviously, they take place in different times.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be a really cool thing to explore. Is like Kratos gets remember how at the end of God of War 2 he gets sent to. In the middle of God of War 2 he gets sent to Hades, right? And, like, the end of God of War 2 is, like, a time loop, and you come back to Hades, and you have to break out and something so you're alive or something like that. Like, I can see, like, them going really weird with it and being like, oh, you're thrust into a different pathology or a pantheon and, like, 2 to 4,000 years away, and you got to make it your way back. And if you don't, you're going to be lost forever. And
I'm very interested in seeing what they do with the son now, because now we know the cat's out of the bag, that he's Loki.
Do you think Atreus stays young right now? I don't think he's going to age. I think it's going to
time jump.
That's why I'm saying I think Kratos has to. I think what's going to happen. I think time's going to be involved. I 100% think time's going to be involved because the World Serpent in the mythology is where he's at in the area in the first game. They talk about it briefly, but if you read the mythology, the World Serpent gets hit by Thor and is knocked back in time.
Oh.
And so in the fight, so like Ragnarok is a constant. So when they meet the world serpent's waiting for Ragnarok to happen, and he's the only one that knows it's going to happen because he's already been through it. So he's just waiting for it to happen again, and it's just like this thing that keeps happening. I think.
Well, Thor looks pissed as shit in this one, and at the end of the first God of War,
he killed his sons. I think I'd be pretty mad too.
Yep. Cool.
That was the game that made me go PS4 one.
A fan.
That was opened my eyes to. I was on Xbox for so long, and when I bought my PS4 for Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us 2, which was a disappointment, and Death Stranding, which I haven't played. Playing God of War opened my eyes to what I really ended up figuring out what I cared about when I buy games.
Which is that.
That's what I want.
Whatever that was.
I want my money to give me that. Every time I buy a game, I want to feel that. Ghost of Tsushima, that made me feel that. It made me go, every dollar that I spent on that game.
That ending for Tsushima, though, was like
so, dude,
good.
You didn't do my ending, though.
No, I had to.
Dude,
I don't understand. I just had to do it. I had to save them.
You didn't understand. That was... I took it... So you get two choices. Spoiler alert. You get two choices at the end of the game. And you can either kill somebody or save somebody. And the weight of the decision... If you think of the entire culture of the Japanese people and the duties of a samurai, and your character believes he's doing his duty. He believes in the way of the samurai, the Bushido, and the way of the sword, and keeping his honor. He believes in all of that. And so at the end of the game, when you're asked to do this thing, because honorably, it's what you should do to your opponent, it's a heavy burden that gets put on you, the person. So now it's no longer your character's ambition of what he decides. This is now... the values that you've watched your character gain. And you have to make the decision on what you're supposed to do. To me, the decision was lengthy. How could this character want to keep living on fairly in this world?
Mm-hmm.
Because you would have, from not completing his task, he would have brought shame on himself.
Yeah.
You know? So they would have killed him anyways. That's how I see it. So it's better that you die by your hand mercifully than died at the hand of somebody out of spite, because he knew he was a dead man either way. That's that's what I think.
I think what they're doing is smart. I think they're playing the relatively long game, and I think God of War being 2021 is really cool because then we don't have to wait as long, and then Horizon's also coming.
Do you think God of War's been in development since the first one was finished?
Oh yeah, I think it was immediately like, okay, we got to start the second one.
Because I haven't heard it, because we got word for God of War 4 like 3 years before the game came out. It was leaked. And now we're seeing just no gameplay, no teaser trailer, no character models, no graphical visuals. We got Ragnarok, and we got 2021. That's a pretty ballsy move for them.
I don't think it's gonna be like spring. I think it's gonna be
no. I'm thinking like holiday 2021. It'll line up pretty well. I think they're hitting to more of this cold stuff, icy weirdness.
Yeah, I think at the earliest it's a fall 2021. It might get pushed to 2022, but
yeah, I'm thinking that game's been in development since the first. They probably took like a 6-month hiatus.
Yeah, I don't think he took a break. I think he was like...
And then they jumped right back. I think even while he was breaking, he was thinking of what's next. Cory Balrog?
Yeah, well, he had to have known the PS5 existed at that point.
I think it's good that we're spending the last amount of time talking about this because I like to... Because it makes me really excited because they're one of the game studios that I feel know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And he's the one... Because did you watch the... Raising Kratos. Yeah, that watching his thoughts on how he talks about how he's going to rebuild this brand. You hear the challenge that he was faced with
conviction because it's like a personal thing.
Yeah, it was his series, and you see how much he cares about it and how much he wants to do justice by it. He doesn't just want to release the next God of War game. He was like, I've changed as a person. I am no longer the same guy. So let's take the aspect of Kratos and we took everything away from him at the end of God of War 3. He took everything that Kratos had gone through and compacted it into this new Kratos. And you see the effects over time of what these things he had to do did to him. mentally. You see that Kratos makes more of an effort. He even talks to Atreus about how he's training himself to not be more angry, and he doesn't want Atreus to be like him.
Yeah, he wants to be a changed man.
And so those things are what reflect, I think, what Corey was reflecting in himself for Kratos, which is really cool to see. And not only that, he wants to do right by his fans. He, like I said, he didn't just want to give them another God of War game.
Yeah, and that's what Halo needs to do.
Halo.
Eventually.
Yeah. It is a... If Microsoft doesn't start learning, I think Microsoft will always make systems and make money, but Microsoft will...
But they won't do Sony numbers.
But you're going to be the generic, like... You're going to be the Android phone.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of people who like Android, but to me, I always saw there was always like a class system of how you look at phones.
Yeah.
And people who have iPhones have always looked down on people who have Android. But I think that's literally what Microsoft will become, is the generic man's video game console compared to the premium man's, or the premium like experience you get on Sony, because of how much emphasis and time they put into their first party.
I mean, I think we hit on the fact that they have an IP for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Even racing, shooting, platforming, adult platforming,
like Abe's Odyssey, like, or whatever.
I mean, they got the Demon Souls. You know, they have Deathloop. They have COD.
Now they have Final Fantasy.
I mean, they have everything that's needed for the system to release very successfully, especially with, let's see what the launch titles are. Spider-Man, COD, Deathloop, I think, Devil May Cry.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they got something for everybody.
I mean, they have a lot of, and Demon Souls.
Oh, yes.
You know, they have a lot of things that are releasing that are, you know, is for a lot of people. And then if they release the PlayStation Plus collection thing,
oh yeah, it's over.
Dude, they're going to have every major IP from PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5's new games available for launch. Xbox can't compete with that.
No.
Because I can already play everything that's available on Xbox. I can play currently on my Xbox right now.
Yeah.
I don't have to switch systems.
You don't have to spend $500 to do it.
For the PS5, anything that's coming out on PS5, I will. That's why I made up my decision on what console I was going to buy.
Yeah.
When before they even announced, I said I'm going PS5. Before anybody even talked about specs, before anybody even talked about, you know, systems. Once my computer was built, I was like, well, Microsoft's just going to release all their games on PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was confirmed. I think at one of the first events they were talking about Scarlet.
Yeah, Phil said it.
So I was like, there's no point in me even buying the next Xbox, because I'm going to be able to just boot up my computer.
You have one.
And just load it up. Yeah. So then I automatically would move on to the next thing. I have a Switch, so I'm just like, okay, I already know that I want to play the PlayStation exclusives, and the only place to play them is on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And I know Sony's that greedy.
Yes.
I know Sony's going to be that arrogant, is going to put very little games on the PC.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Horizon was supposed to be like their first test of the waters. I put God of War on there. I think they should put Bloodborne on there.
I think they should put God of War on there, because I still think the PS4 held back God of War.
It didn't do the graphics justice, right? I mean, it would look really
I think
good.
because the hardware struggled to push the graphics.
I could
it
tell
looked
playing
amazing,
it,
but you could see in cutscenes it
more.
was slow at times. And that was because of the hardware that was limiting it. Xbox One and PS4 Pro hindered the games industry for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think these systems were wise to come out at all. I got these two
humongous.
I got these two humongous systems sitting right here, and I was not impressed with either of the graphical capabilities.
They tried smartphoning it because they wanted to, capitalize on the fact that people buy stuff more than once, and people will buy it even though it's called the same thing that they own.
That worries me for the next. That worries me for this iteration. I am afraid of buying a console. That is something I will set as a warning for other people too.
Mm-hmm.
I am fearful that they're getting into this habit of bringing out a upgraded version of a console every 2.5 years. I will be.
I don't think they'll do it
disappointed.
this time.
I don't know. I do not. Because look at the hardware that they're already going to be chasing with the 30 series cards. You don't think they're going to try to? I don't even know. I didn't watch the press event on the 30
I didn't
series.
watch it either.
I just heard that it from a few different content creators that saying that the capabilities on paper of the cards automatically makes the new systems and the RTX 20 series obsolete. Can it work well? It depends on how well people implement using the cards to create content or games or software. If they're not good software makers, it's not gonna. It doesn't matter how good the card is. That's why.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's why it's important that sure, Phil, you can say that the system's more powerful than the PlayStation, but if I'm not seeing how that game, if I'm not seeing how you warp in Demon's Souls, the way I'm seeing it on the PlayStation,
who cares?
There's no point. You just got a big paperweight. Yep. So I think I hit on major points of. I'm not a Sony fanboy. Most people would probably think I am.
You're just a realist. You're like, one is winning, one's losing.
Yeah.
I got to pick the winner.
100%. There is no point in double dipping on Xbox, especially when you're just...
No, and I was hardcore Xbox for 2000.
Dude, you were hardcore Xbox until the
2007 till now. Because now I'm getting fed up with the whole, like, waiting for Phil to, like fulfill his promises.
You were on board buying that Series X until they announced the price of the PS5. And they announced
until I seen the games, and I was like,
you saw
way better.
When they showed gameplay. When they showed gameplay at the PS5 event the other day, it was like the nail in the coffin.
I was like, that's it. I'm not going back to Xbox.
I will never buy another Xbox.
And then I seen how good Demon's Souls looked, and I was like, I'm not going back to Xbox.
If Sony keeps doing what they're doing, if they can capitalize on what they're doing with that, you'll have me forever.
They have such momentum right now.
I'll give you money every time you come up with a new system. If you show me something like Demon's Souls, and you show me the capabilities of your hardware, I will give you my money.
And it's technically weaker than the Series X.
But does that even matter?
And it looks so good.
It doesn't matter when you got no games on the greatest place to play them.
Yep.
Phil Spencer's stupid.
I think that's a good way to end it.
I think so.
With a jab at Microsoft.
They're going to get a bunch of Xbox fanboys. It fits the theme.
This is about Sony's conference.
You're going to get a bunch of Xbox fanboys that we're friends with.
Oh, what about the Ascent?
What about
You didn't talk about the Ascent. Yes, we know about that one.
I mean, we wanted Scaleborn, but they canceled it.
What about Rare Replay?
Man. I'm disappointed. And then they keep showing Cyberpunk at the Xbox events.
Yes.
And I'm just like, stop showing this third-party game.
Yes.
Stop.
They're doing that with they're money-hatting Cyberpunk and Assassin's Creed.
It's ridiculous.
It's annoying because who cares at this point about Assassin's Creed? Cyberpunk will be good, but it's also going to be a good game on PC. It's not. It's not like it's.
So that's what I'm saying. Xbox is showing every game that Xbox showed that I was even minorly interested in. I was like, it's going to be on PC. Even Halo. Even Halo Infinite. I can go on the Steam store right now. It's for sale. I can buy it. It's there.
Yeah.
Why would I buy an Xbox? Why?
Yeah, no point.
There's no point. If you have a PC, don't buy an Xbox. Upgrade your graphics card.
If you have an Xbox, don't buy another Xbox.
Yeah.
Buy a PlayStation.
Yeah. If you got an Xbox, don't buy either because all the games for Xbox are going to be on Xbox X.
Yeah.
You don't need an Xbox Series X, especially if you don't have a TV that can push 120 frames. There's really is no point in buying a new system if you can't even afford to buy $1,000 to $1,200 TV to play these games. Because even the OLED TVs or whatever, I don't even think they were pushing 120 hertz.
No.
So to buy a TV to even play these new games, you're gonna have to buy like a $2,000, $3,000 TV.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Sony's in a very good spot. Their momentum is like outstanding right now. It's gonna take Xbox a lot to recapture some of that magic. Then
dude,
Nintendo's gonna just Nintendo.
What's cool about Nintendo is these press events for these other companies don't matter.
No,
because Nintendo likes to just have secret, directs.
Here we
the
go.
Night before they're like, hey, we're gonna announce. Hey, by the way, tomorrow we're announcing a new Smash Brothers character.
Yeah.
Like at midnight, they announce it. In 6
alarms.
hours.
Yeah.
In 6 hours, we're announcing the next Smash Brothers
And then,
character.
like, when they announce the DLC, I like that they're like, it's out today. Or it's like, it's out tomorrow. Like, it's relatively soon.
Dude, that's... Nintendo takes the cake and...
But we could do a whole nother episode on Nintendo and Microsoft.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll leave it there.
I think Sony did a good job, though.
I think Sony did a really good job in terms.
10, I'm going to say 11 out of 10.
I think it's 10 out of 10. That's somebody who's not a Sony fanboy, somebody who's been very critical of Sony for a long time. I was very critical of Sony for a really long time because I did not think that the PlayStation 3 era.
Well, this was the company
was
that
good at all.
Had the great debacle over like you can't even change your ID name.
Which is still a debacle.
They had the great crash of 2011 where like everyone got hacked and they had to like pay everyone back and give everyone free games.
And Lizard Squad threatened to blow up the plane that the president was on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
so
that.
They've had their fair share of punches being thrown their way, but I think they're in a good spot right now.
There's not really much else I can say about
bravo to Sony.
Yeah,
bravo to what they're doing.
2 hands.
Bravo to like
Sony definitely gets
their
that.
Specific like this game is going to cater to this audience. This game is going to cater to this audience, and I mean their slogan is like the best place to play, right, or something like that.
Best place to play games. I don't know. Yeah. That's
I think they earned it with the conference.
Yep. So we'll go with. They showed off the hardware.
Mm-hmm. The price was the big
deal.
Price,
the $300 for
the
digital.
So are you gonna get? Which one are you gonna get?
Is it $400 for the digital, $500 for the disc?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get whatever's available, and to be honest, because the digital's cheaper, I'm probably gonna go digital.
Yeah, I got the digital.
I'm gonna go digital because we're gonna go half on games. I would assume we're gonna go half on games.
I got the digital one.
I think we're gonna go half on games.
Yeah.
But as far as
I want to,
I'm gonna go digital because it's cheaper, and I'll take what I can get. You know, I'm not gonna complain. What? Oh, I get to buy all my games digital.
Yeah. Well,
I don't like that.
They're gonna be 70 now.
Of course, I don't like the whole like they can take the games away from you at any point. Well, they could just lock your system down too and ban your ISP from being able to run the network services, so you can't even play. So it doesn't even matter. People have unrealistic fears about the digital aspect of these games, and you're only renting the license. You're only renting them with the disc version too because it's gonna lock your disc out from playing it, and that's stupid because people don't understand that. They do it with hackers all the time with Grand Theft Auto.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Sony did a good job. Yep. Microsoft sucked all summer. I don't think Microsoft did a good job at all. Sony showed off their hardware, showed off games, showed off gameplay, showed off what the hardware can do in the games. They showed off a variety of games for multiple people, and they showed the systems off. I'll eat my crow right here in front of you. I have to eat crow. I thought the systems were definitely going to be about $500. So the PlayStation being $400.
Yeah, you were like super adamant about that.
I was just convinced with the kind of hardware that they were talking about.
No, but then 3090 was announced, and now it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, because then they took that and just ran down. Now that's like
and like
that's
30,
like a 45.
3090 was announced, and you're like, oh, no wonder it's $400.
Yeah, because it's a $1,400 price point for a new graphics card.
Yeah.
So I'll take what I can get. I get a PlayStation 5 that costs less money, costs $400.
Yep.
You know, that's just that. I have to pay that for a graphics card for a new computer. And that's not even, if you bought a graphics card at that price point, it doesn't even come close. Honestly, it will not come close to what these systems can do. So I'll give it that. Mm-hmm. You can buy yourself a $600 graphics card, but it's not going to do what the PlayStation 5 can do with what I saw. Because if you want what I saw in the PlayStation, with the loading times and stuff like that, you need to buy like $400 SSDs. You have to buy a CPU that's like, 18 cores.
The Sony sauce is a lot cheaper.
So I'll take what I can get with Sony. I think it's a good bargain.
That's fair.
I give my stamp of approval on the PlayStation 5.
All right. Nice.
I think Xbox can go suck a wiener.
Oh, that's mean.
Is it?
I want to give Phil the benefit of the doubt that he'll bounce back, but he's not speaking to me right now.
Phil's like, all talk.
No, I think he just legitimately thinks like what they showed is good, and it's like it's not.
Maybe for 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. Hey, so we'll just leave it there. We'll come back with more.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to come back and talk about some Nintendo, some Microsoft, some more Nintendo, some more video game stuff.
For sure. We could do a Nintendo one.
Yep. This is we call this the Friday night special. We talked about the Sony press event. If you have any questions about the Sony event, please leave them in any questions that you had in the comments. You can let me know there what you thought about the video. Yeah. Please comment, like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Share this with your friends if anybody you know likes video game content, likes hearing me ramble on about my life and random stories and bringing people that I know into my life to talk about different aspects of our lives together and what we experience in life. Share it with people. That's what I'm doing here. I'm providing entertainment for you. This is Zach. This is Cable Times. I botched this outro.
Thank
really
you for having
badly.
me. Thank you for having
me.
Matt,
I'm gonna have you here as much as possible.
Oh no, there's Corona. We gotta be careful.
Oh yes. Make sure that you're.
I'll bring my mask
doing
next
with
time.
what you have to do. I'm not going to tell people what to do. You live your own life. I'm not your daddy. I want you to do what you think is best. Everybody should do what they think is best.
All right. Well, thank you for having me again. And I will see you guys later.
Peace out.